Justice served in an honest fight. True crime tales till the verdict's right. Solving more than just trivial quests, where sentences rule at the defense rests.
Good morning, good morning. How are we? Good morning, Christine. You're up bright and early. Did you get to bed? Good morning and welcome back. Or welcome to the Defence Rest. This is your first time visiting us. Suffering your jocks. If you've been here before, then you have pretty much waived every right for any future mental health issues caused from this channel. Okay, done, sorted. Alright, we are going to do the final finale of the Coroner Affair murder trial, day 5. We had the lieutenant from the lead detective all day yesterday going through text messages and all these anonymous texts giving Chris Dantel's wife information on the affair. And as it all turns out, they came from Ms. Jackson. So I have put good morning, sweetheart. How are you? Can you all hear me? Please tell me you can hear me. So what I've done is I've put a comprehensive, detailed outline of the entire trial, because there was bits that I missed, and there was a lot of text messages yesterday that we couldn't read. So there's a really, really good summary that explains everything. So today we're going to do the end of the state's case, and we're going to go straight into the defence puts forth a directed verdict, and then we go into closings. I'm going to skip jury instructions, and then we get the verdict. And I will combine, once we've had the verdict of Meagan Jackson, I will also then include the verdict from yesterday of Chris Dantel. Alright, bear with me. I'm in the bathroom at the moment. I shall go and press play. I will be right back. Brace yourself, biatches.
We went over the exhibits with the court reporter. 99A through J, she does not have specifically admitted, but she does show that Your Honor allowed us to publish them, so I would just ask that they be formally admitted. Right. This was where we had 99A through J and 99A2 through J2. It would have been during Lieutenant Wells' testimony on Friday.
All right, can you hear me now? No more static?
I've got.
Well, holla to you too, Mr. Woodhouse. How you doing?
A2, 99J2, admitted evidence without objection.
So it may have just been that I wasn't there. As I said, in that case,
yeah,
this was
I'm out on my PC. I was in the bathroom.
Gave email, and so 99 was the portion of the report that showed the HGA email.
All right, I'm going to run and get my towel,
J
and I'll
would
be
have
back.
been the images. Let me just double check that.
Yeah, I don't have 99A through J. I've got 99A2 through 99J.
Right. So again, I probably just was not clear when I spoke. I handed Lieutenant Wells both 99A through J and 99A2 through 99J2, and we went through them at the same time. So 99A was the IMGBD image from the HGA email, and then 99A2 was showing that that image had been cached on the defendant's phone prior to the email being sent.
So you're seeking to admit now 99A
through J.
Through J.
Yes, Your Honor. And I believe we did go through them at the bench.
And all of this is part of State's Exhibit
99.
99.
Yes, so in 99, Your Honor, you can see smaller versions of the images. So then Lieutenant Wells testified that he went to that image and then was able to show that image on the defendant's phone.
All right, what's the defense position?
You know, we get to them as they were coming in, what does the record shows, the record shows are in, they're not in.
All right, I'm going to admit State's Exhibits 99A through 99J. Since State's Exhibits 99 is already admitted into evidence, and these are just a portion of that.
Yes.
Good, okay.
And then, Your Honor, there's some question as to 62 and 63. The state shows that they were admitted during Detective Edwards' testimony. Those are discs of the surveillance from Lowe's. So it would have been the point of sale surveillance and the parking lot video.
Your whose testimony?
Detective Drew Edwards. I think he would have been Wednesday. He was. I believe he was Wednesday.
You're talking about defense exhibits what?
State's Exhibits 62 and 63.
Yeah, they were never put in. What's the defense position?
It's fine, Your Honor. They're not minutes. I don't believe we.
So it was marked for identification, never admitted in evidence. What's the defense position?
Whatever the record shows, you know.
All right. The State's Exhibits 62 and 63, they want to put in, I'm not going to put in.
That's fine.
All right, anything else on the study?
Nothing from the state, Your Honor.
Anything from the defense before we bring the jury in?
Nothing from the defense, Your Honor.
All right, let's bring the jury in. All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. Hope everyone had a good weekend. Hope everyone had a good Father's Day. We're ready to resume the trial of this case. Please make sure you have your own notepads and no one else's notepads. State and call your next witness.
Your Honor, at this time, the state rests.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, the state has rested their case, and now is the time of the trial where I have to take up some matters of law with the defendant, with the parties, the state and the defense. As I told you earlier, when we discuss the law, it often requires us to reference factual issues, and we don't want you to be influenced by anything that I say or the attorneys say. So I'm going to choose you back to the jury room for just a few minutes, and we'll bring you back out in just a second. All right, any motions?
Your Honor, we move for a direct verdict on the conspiracy charge. Testimony in the case from all witnesses is that there was no agreement between Jackson and Mr. Dantel. Of course, that's required for a conspiracy charge. He testified very forcefully. He knew nothing about it, had nothing to do with it, hadn't agreed to anything. So, under the facts and the law, that charge should be dismissed.
All right, the state's position.
Your Honor, we would ask that you deny the defense motion. In order for a directed verdict to be granted, there must be a failure of competent evidence. And in this case, we believe that there is ample evidence that the defendant and Mr. Dantel acted together. We believe that the conspiracy continued through the disposal of Mr. Rice's body. Certainly, there was evidence that they went to the preserve on the 29th, the 30th, and the day that Mr. Rice was murdered to engage in target practice. there was a text message indicating the defendant, I believe, said, I'm all for popping a tire now. Mr. Dantel said, I agree. I believe that's a question for the jury.
So you're saying Mr. Dantel lied on the stand when he said he didn't know anything about it, she jumped out and started shooting?
No, Your Honor, I believe that the way his testimony came across was that he thought she was kidding, and he actually testified at one point. She said, I hate my kids, I hate my mother, I hate this person, I hate that person. But the conspiracy certainly lasts through putting Mr. Rice's body in the back of the van, storing him at the Myrtle Beach funeral home, and disposing of his body.
No, conspiracy is a pre-arranged plan prior to the act. Disposing of the body is the accessory after the fact. Conspiracy, you have to have a pre-arranged plan between 2 or more people to commit the crime, and that they actually carry out that crime pursuant to the pre-arranged plan.
I've actually never seen a directed verdict before. What's the go with that? What are they directing the verdict to be? Like, I don't get it. They're not putting on a defence. I didn't even see that they were actually doing. Oh yes, they have got a closing. Yeah, I'm not really far. What is it? I can't remember it. I've never fucking done directed verdict. And I did actually catch a bit of that last night. I caught, I think I just left my TV on. I woke up to Vinny talking about it. And to me, it looks pretty much like, you know, a very, very traditional Muslim family, parents bringing up an Americanized daughter with completely different sets of values and expectations and traditions and the whole works. And women are not considered particularly important there. So for her to bring shame on the family name, it's probably quite normal over there for him to strangle his daughter. Yeah, so cool. So directed verdicts, and the judge dismisses charges after the prosecution's case because the reasonable jury wouldn't be able to find the defendant guilty based on right. Okay. I think they're pushing shit uphill on this one. Yeah. Just quietly. Defense will always ask for one. Oh, I thought they asked for a mistrial. I thought that was a mistrial or a Oh, she is absolutely. Abso-fucking-lutely. Yeah. Well, I'm guessing that the directed verdict doesn't get granted then. But thank you for explaining that. So what's the difference between asking for a mistrial or a directed verdict then? Because I know they always ask at the end of the state's case, but I haven't heard it as being called a directed verdict before, that's all. Please explain.
That there is a pre-arranged plan between this defendant and anybody else to commit murder.
Your Honor, I would just point to the evidence.
By the sounds of it, sounds like they are.
Certainly.
All right, I'm going to grant the motion as to the conspiracy charge. I don't see what the state has presented any evidence of a pre-arranged plan between this defendant and any.
Oh, it was on the conspiracy charge.
To commit a crime, right?
And on the remaining charge of murder, as I understand it, that would be the only charge.
That's correct.
Remains.
That's correct.
We would like to have that dismissed also based on this theory that the
Nice try, but no cigar, sir.
Even the prosecutors brought out he lied.
So what is it that they normally ask in the? What is it that normally the different term that the defence uses at the end of the state's case, other than a directed verdict? What do they ask for?
And his testimony is so flawed that wouldn't be a just verdict.
All right, I'm going to deny the motion. I think the fact that he has testified at least creates a jury question as well, not including 4 times. So I'm going to deny that motion.
I haven't been known to be wrong once.
All right. Any other motions?
Back in '69.
That's all from the defense, Your Honor.
All right, we want to go ahead and let me question your client on her right to testify.
Yes,
Do you
sir.
want to hear something funny, Uda Hep? I did something really stupid yesterday and showed Tristia. I sent an email to Turtle Boy because everyone's on that bandwagon. And I just thought, well, fuck it. So I'm going to do the opposite. Because I'm not a sheep. Don't follow. I emailed him and told him that I bet him an hour of his time that I could tell him a fact about the case that he didn't know. And if I won, he could interview me for a fucking hour. I know, I'm a dickhead. But hey, you don't know, you don't give it a go.
If I could get you to stand and raise your right hand, please. Do you swear or affirm to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
I do.
All right. Your name
I
is
said I
Meagan
might not be the
Jackson.
biggest, but I'm on
All right,
my
Ms.
way up.
Jackson, at this time, I'm going to
Motherfucker. Said I
explain
leave
to
going
you
down to the
certain rights
bedroom.
that you have. If you do not understand anything I say, please let me know. If you want me to explain anything in more detail, please let me know. You understand that?
Yes.
All right. We've now reached the stage of the trial where you may present your defense. You have the right to claim the protection
You can
given
say
to you
what
by
you
the
like.
Fifth Amendment to the Constitution of the United States. This
Well,
amendment.
If he's doing, hello, sweetheart. Hello. If he's, if he's doing this massive tour, he's calling it his whore tour, in Horry County, he's a Horio. So, I thought, fuck it, it's got to be. He's on someone's channel every day, and it's the same shit he rattles off. They ask the same goddamn questions. What started this case? Well, back in April 2022, rah, rah, rah. And it's the same bullshit. So he'd get bored, I reckon. So I thought, fuck it, I'll flip it. He can interview me. I know a shit ton about Karen Reid. He can test my knowledge. And he's got too much of an ego to turn that shit down. That's for sure.
States in part that no person shall be compelled in any criminal case to be a witness against himself. This means that you cannot be required to testify in this case.
Oh,
You have the right to
no, what's
testify
that
on
message?
your behalf. However, no one can make you testify. This is a personal right, and no one can waive this right. except
Oh,
you.
shit. Yes.
If you
Fuck.
decide to testify, you will be subject to the same rules that govern other witnesses. And you may be questioned and examined and cross-examined on any relevant issue in this case. In addition, if you have any convictions involving dishonesty or false statement or for crimes punishable by imprisonment for more than 1 year, and this court determines that the probative value of admitting this evidence outweighs its prejudicial effect to you, the solicitor will be able to introduce your record to attack your credibility. Now, are there any prior?
No, Your Honor.
All right. If you decide to testify, this decision on your part must be freely, voluntarily, and intelligently made with the knowledge of the protections given to you by the Fifth Amendment to the United States Constitution and the consequences of your decision to testify. If you decide not to testify, I will instruct the jurors that they cannot give the fact that you did not testify any consideration whatsoever, and that there is to be absolutely no prejudice to you because you did not testify. It's left entirely up to you whether or not you testify. You may talk with your attorney, your friends and family, or anyone else, but the final decision will be left entirely up to you. And you understand what I've explained to you?
I do.
Do you have any questions about what I've explained to you?
No, sir.
Have you discussed with your attorneys whether or not you should testify in this case?
Yes, sir.
All right, do you feel like you need to talk to your attorneys any more about this issue?
No, Your Honor.
All right, is there anybody you feel like you should talk to about this issue before making a decision?
No, sir.
Have you made a decision as to whether or not you wish to testify in this case?
Yes, sir.
And do you wish to testify in this case?
No, Your Honor.
All right,
Yeah.
Is this your decision?
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Anything further?
She's definitely
that's on the
ick.
record regarding the defendant's right to testify?
No, sir, Your Honor. We talked to our client thoroughly about her right to testify, as have you, and this is her decision, and we stand by her.
All right, anything further to state what's on the record regarding the defendant's right to testify?
No, Your Honor.
All right, will the defense be putting up any other witnesses or any other defense in this case?
No, sir. No, sir.
All right, so I guess all we have now is closing arguments, charges, and deliberations.
Yes, Your Honor.
All right.
No defense.
Let's take about, I've got some of the
That's
charges
pretty
done. It's probably
fucking
gonna take
lazy.
about another 30 minutes. I'll finish up the charges and get you a copy. You can take a look at it. You can do one of two things. If you want to submit something, you can submit something.
Yeah.
If you want to wait and get my proposed charges, review them and see if you have any objections or additions, then you can do that as well. Okay?
Your Honor,
Yeah.
quick question. There was discussion about charging the jury before.
How's it?
closing-
Oh,
closing
that was
and
Jenny.
charging. We would prefer to charge before. I didn't know if the state had any preference or if you had any preference, Your Honor.
Well, I generally charge after unless both sides agree. So,
That's fine, Your Honor, because the state would like this.
We prefer after, Your Honor.
okay, I'll charge after.
That's fine.
So, in the closing arguments, since the defense not put up anything, the state will close in full,
Yes,
then the defense will close in full.
Yes.
That'll be all closing arguments.
Thank you, Your Honor.
All right, let's take about a 30-minute break. We'll come back. Okay.
Before we make our argument.
All right. All right. Well, let's go over that now. Is there a hand in one? I mean, you're saying she committed the act.
All right, I've had enough.
What
I'm going to wipe my ass with you.
Did that have any sound? The fuck?
All right, I've had enough. I'm going to wipe my ass with you.
Any sound on that? Did you hear that one?
It says there that Mr. Dantel committed the act and she was there aiding and assisting in the commission of that.
well, Your Honor, without being able to read the defense's mind, I'm sure they are going to say that Dantel is the one who killed Mr. Rice.
I'm sure.
Therefore, the presence of both the defendant and Mr. Dantel throughout the night, with including going to preserve, it's up to the jury to decide whether or not they were acting together for hand of one, hand of all. But I certainly think there's enough evidence in the record with them being together the entire night. Dantel actually driving Ms. Jackson's van to the location, helping to load Mr. Rice's body into the back of the van, again, all the way through disposing of the body. It's up to the jury to decide whether or not Mr. Dantel knew what was going to happen or not. I believe that that's a question of fact for the jury.
But the question is, for this defendant to be guilty under the theory of the hand of one is the hand of all, you have to have Mr. Dantel committing the crime and her there aiding and assisting in the commission of the crime. If you have her committing the crime, it's not the hand of one, unless it would be Mr. Dantel guilty of that. A hand of one is the hand of all, is that you are there aiding and assisting someone else in the commission of the crime.
But again, Your Honor, if we're trying to forecast the defense argument, it is likely, I would think, that they argue that Mr. Dantel pulled the trigger. It is therefore up to the jury to decide either way. They can believe all of his testimony, none of his testimony, or part of his testimony. So it would certainly be within the jury's purview to say, well, we believe most of what he said, but we think he pulled the trigger and not her.
But what I'm saying is, what evidence has the state presented that he did pull the trigger and she was there aiding and assisting him? That's the hand of one is the hand of all. What has the state presented in its case in chief that shows Mr. Dantel committed this crime and that she is guilty as a principal because she was there aiding and assisting him in the completion of the crime?
I think that given the fact that the jury can believe all, some, or nothing from Mr. Dantel's testimony opens that possibility that he is the one, again, as I'm sure the defense is going to argue, that he is the one who fired the gun and not Ms. Jackson.
I'm sorry, Miss Jackson. Woo. Sorry.
What evidence do you have that he is the one that fired the gun?
We don't believe that he is the one, but certainly there is that possibility within his testimony if the jury believes only part of what he said.
Your Honor.
Your Honor, I'd like an opportunity then to do more research. Your Honor,
Yeah, let's do some
considering that.
research on it, and if there's anything in the record, anything in the evidence that goes to the jury that shows Mr. Dantel is the one that committed the murder and that Ms. Jackson was there aiding, assisting in the completion or commission of that crime, then you got the hand of one that's the hand of all. But as I look back, I'll look back over my notes, I don't know that I recall the state putting up anything that shows Mr. Dantel is the one who committed the crime. Now, they can argue that, but I don't know that there's anything in the record from the state that shows Mr.
Hey, buddy.
Dantel
Hello.
as
Let's
the
take a
third
wait.
person, so to speak. I'll look back over my notes, you do your research,
Hello.
and we'll come back and readdress it.
Thank you, Your Honor.
All right, thank you. Let's take about a 30-minute break.
We're going to have a break, are we? What?
And your objection's on the record, and
Charging
before I
conference.
started reviewing notes and going over the charges, the hand ones, the hand involved, I was inclined to agree with you. But then I do recall Mr. Dantel's testimony where he was charged as the principal, and then the day of his trial, he made the deal with the state and pled to accessory after the fact. So I think there is evidence there that he committed the crime and then she was after that. And that's the reason I want to be on the record, the reason for my decision. All right, anything from the state before we bring the jury in?
Your Honor, if I can just have a moment. I was waiting for the final ruling to make sure I didn't need to make any adjustments to my PowerPoint, so I just need Ms. Dean to
Okay,
set it up.
that'd be fine. That'd be fine. Oh, and as a, she go ahead and do this. I'll do however you want to do, since it's just.
No, we don't need to watch this bullshit, do we, shall we?
You're not guilty.
If the defense is going to renew their motions after they rest, it makes sense to argue them now rather than having the jury come in and out.
I've never really understood that. I don't know if they can make motions after they rest when they don't present
Right.
anything, because there's nothing presented, and I think their motions and objections are already certain.
Okay, I wanted to avoid them coming in and out.
All right, anything from the defense before we bring the jury in?
I believe, Your Honor, that would do it if we're gonna be done with arguments. If we just have our objection to the one involved, which is noted, besides that, Your Honor, I think we're ready to proceed.
All right, let's go ahead and bring the jury in.
Bring the jury.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. Please make sure you have your own notepads and no one else's notepads. The state has rested their case. The defense which presented.
Your Honor, the defense rests.
All right. Ladies and gentlemen, the defense has rested their case, so all evidence has been.
Oh, it's a bit
presented to
bigger.
you.
I was a bit
Now,
keen.
with the attorney will make the closing
Hang on, I'm
arguments.
gonna have to do it again now.
And just like the opening-
It's compulsory.
statements, these closing arguments are not evidence. It is simply the attorney's contention as to what they think the evidence has shown and the law to be applied in this case. If at any time an attorney references a factual issue that is different from the facts as you find them to be, or references the law that is different from the law as I will charge you at the close of their arguments, then you're to disregard that portion of their arguments, because this is not evidence and it's not a charge on the law. It is just the attorney's contention as to what they think the evidence has shown and the law to be applied. All right, state wish to close?
May it please the court.
Yes, ma'am.
Hello, Miss Banda. Have you changed your avatar?
This is a tale as old as
It
time,
looks
as you were
different.
told in the opening.
Or am I just
It
blind?
involved an affair, a pregnancy, and a murder. But there was a fourth aspect of this case that is equally as important, and that's deception. The defendant was the center of the affair, certainly the pregnancy, and most definitely the murder. But the evidence has also shown that she was the
Simi?
center of the deception.
What's your opinion, Udahef, on the Muslim child? What is it? What have they called it? They've dubbed it something. Holy. My brain, she no work no more. Dem brains, dem shit brains. Has anyone seen any of that new trial? Is it Fatima, her name? I know. But trust me, you don't want this. You don't want me to accidentally touch the camera. Mm-mm. What do you think of the Muslim trial, Edith? What's your take on it? Do you think he's the old school super religious father being overly protective of the westernized daughter, or did the boyfriend overstep the mark? You're not even listening.
In fact, she is a master of deception. I guess the correct term would be mistress of deception, but master of deception is a little bit more common. As you learned during the trial,
I'd go
the
with
defendant
magenta.
and the victim had 4 children
Maybe.
together. You actually
Pink.
heard from their oldest child. And think of the strength that took Savannah to come in and testify against her mother in the murder of her father. They had 4 children, but they had been separated for about 10 months to a year before Gregory Rice was murdered. They still had that connection of children, as you always do when you share children with someone else. And as you review the exhibits, because you'll get to
So
bring it
she's
back
taken the
very
stand, has
soon,
she?
You will see that their conversations were mainly about the children, about Greg wanting to pick up the children. When can he see them? So that was the tie that bound them together. The defendant, meanwhile, was involved in body transports. She comes into contact with Christopher Dantel in the course of her work. And
You
she
answer
sets
to me,
herself
but you don't
up
answer
for some
me.
reason.
Mofo.
She begins to show up at his favorite restaurant. She ingratiates herself to him, and they begin an affair. She infiltrates the Dantel's marriage and life. She moves to their community. She showers them with gifts. She and her children spend, this was COVID. Erica Dantel testified that they spent almost all the time together, her family and his family. And then she began to spin her web of lies because she wanted to destroy the Dantel's marriage. But she also wanted to get rid of Greg. And so she started to frame him for revealing information about the affair. You may recall that during the trip to Florida, that was the defendant, Mr. Dantel, Savannah, and one of Savannah's friends, the defendant showed Dantel one text message. All I can say is wait for the storm. And based on this text message, she told Dantel that she was terrified of the victim. Didn't want to be near him. He was hell-bent on hurting her. You have to come with me. I'm going to confront him, but you need to be there because he is going to hurt me. Remember, all I can say is wait for the storm. But, and I know it took a little bit for Lieutenant Wells to read through that whole conversation, but especially here, the context of that one text is extremely important because you should recall, and again, you will have the exhibit in your room with you, that the conversation was about the children. Greg did not know that the defendant and Dantel were in Florida. He thought they were in Ohio. He was caring for the other 3 children, and the defendant had stayed away longer than she had told him she would.
Oh, really?
And his job was suffering as a result. He couldn't work because he had to care for the children. And so that's what he continually caught her in lies. You told me you were going to be home yesterday. You told me you had a court date. I'm tired of all these lies. So the storm was to expose the lies. I don't trust a word you say. Everything is always riddled with half-truths and lies, so I'm going to start letting people know the truth. Not, I'm going to kill you, I'm going to hurt you. It's, you lie to me, and your lying to me affects my life. And people need to know that they can't trust what you are going to say. Again, if you look at the entire conversation, you will see that Greg is saying, thanks, just text me when they're ready, please. Hope your day is going well. Boy, that sounds like someone who is out to hurt someone, right? When can I pick up the kids? I hope your day is going well. Greg was not threatening the defendant. Greg's only concern was seeing and caring for his children. The defendant, on the other hand,
Can you
so
guys
go
hear
ahead
me?
and run your fucking mouth again. Thanks for being an ass about it. Who in that text conversation was more aggressive? It was the defendant, not Greg Rice. Greg Rice had no intention of hurting Meagan Jackson. So the defendant comes up with this scheme that she is going to expose her affair with Christopher Dantel, but she's going to pin it on Greg Rice. So she begins with these text for free messages. One of them included the list of the 4 people who had gone to Florida. that couldn't have come from Greg because he had no idea where she was. He thought she was in Ohio. He certainly didn't know that she was with Christopher Dantel because otherwise that would have come out in the text. So this text came from Meagan Jackson. How else do we know that the defendant is the one who sent these text for free messages? If you look at, there was one IMDb link that you can make out. This is what pulls up. At the top of that is Christopher Dantel's number, meaning that this is a photo, not even just a capture. This is a photo, someone taking a photo of the defendant's phone and sending that, uploading it to IMDb and sending it to Erica. Lieutenant Wells showed you that text conversation in the defendant's phone. How would Greg get the defendant's phone in order to take a photo of this text conversation and send it? How would he even know about this text message? And if you read the content of this text message, believe me, it was specifically chosen to hurt Erica the most. Then, when that didn't work, the defendant started this, she sort of upped the ante a little bit. She started talking about a package is going to be coming in the mail. And already she's, again, blaming Greg. And let me actually backtrack for 1 minute with the text for free messages. Don't forget that when Erica said to her husband, call her now, and they called the defendant, who did the defendant say was sending those messages? It's got to be Greg. There's no evidence in the record that Greg cared a whit about who the defendant was sleeping with. All he cared about was his kids. But when the text for free text did not work, she begins this campaign about a package coming in the mail. And again, she's blaming Greg. So this is really a win-win situation for her. She's telling Dantel to intercept the package. Okay, well, if he doesn't intercept the package, then number one, it hurts Erica, perhaps drives a bigger wedge in their marriage. But Dantel is going to think that Greg is trying to destroy their marriage. But if Dantel does intercept it, again, there's still that notion in the background, look what Greg is doing. Look what Greg is trying to do to your marriage. So she had started this little campaign about the package on September 28th. And then...
Hey, Mandy, I was just telling to everyone I did something really funny yesterday. And it's probably really stupid, but never mind. You get that. You know how Turtle Boy's doing his whore tour? That's hard for me to say in Australian. Whore tour. That doesn't rhyme so much. And he's on everyone's fucking channels, left, right, and centre, getting asked the same goddamn questions. You know, reciting the same shit day by day. All right. I thought, fuck this. I'm gonna switch it up. So I sent him an email saying, I'll bet you an hour of your time that I can tell you something that you don't know about the Karen Reid case. And if I win, you get the privilege of interviewing me for a fucking hour. Let's see if he takes the bait.
On September 30th, we see, and I tried to put the exhibit numbers here so you'd be able to reference them if you wanted to. We see on her web searches that she searched for the location of both the UPS store and the FedEx store, or that she was actually at those two locations, further indicating that she is the one who sent the package. Even more telling is the fact that she deleted her search for the location of where the FedEx store is. How many people here have ever gone to the trouble of deleting a search for a location as bland as FedEx? Further evidence that she was trying to frame Greg for sending this package. So Dantel was able to intercept the package, and you may recall that he said, I opened it up, I didn't look a lot at it, I just brought it over to the defendant. But
thank you.
It was photo.
Did he come on your channel?
And pictures of text messages.
After you asked him with the super chat?
So then we move on to the notepad, the links in the defendant's notepad.
You
now,
got
remember
worms,
that she started these text messages about the package coming
Feed
on
the worms.
Well, on the 27th, she starts uploading all of these images into IMDb, setting the stage. And again, notably, October 2nd, she sends that to the trash. But Lieutenant Wells was able to access each one of those IMDb links, which he was also able to show you were cached in the defendant's phone. Now, these are just some of them. I think it was exhibits 100A through S, right? But if you look at these, text conversations with
Oh,
Dantel's number at
okay.
the top. Photo collages, exactly what Dantel saw in the package. And then also, while this is going on, while the defendant is feeding Dantel this pack of lies about Greg is trying to expose the affair, I'm so
Thank
screwed
you.
with Greg, we have evidence of,
course
further
you can.
malice
Hang
towards the victim, where there was a text message about popping a tire. I'm all for popping a tire now. So the package still doesn't work. Dantel is still married. He's still married to this day. Whether you agree with her decision or not, Erica Dantel did not leave her husband when word of the affair came out. Did not leave her husband when word of the pregnancy came out. Did not leave her husband when he was arrested for murdering his lover's baby daddy.
There you go.
Still has not left him. So the defendant's campaign to destroy that marriage didn't work, but she kept trying. So then we get to the H-gate email. And if you recall, this H-gate email, which was sent on October 1st, but there was evidence that the defendant's phone had accessed that account on September 27th with a password that was stored in the keychain of her phone. So she's accessing that email account a full 4 days before this email is sent. And the email is sent, so let's widen the web a little bit here. It's not.
Hang on, I'm just going to plug my headphones in.
She just say baby daddy. Like,
Mhm.
what kind of professional says baby daddy?
Come on. Stupid.
I'm mainly talking to chat. Chat, did she just say baby daddy, like with no S at the end or anything? Isn't she a lawyer? Baby daddy?
All right. Just change the settings. Audio.
Her baby daddy. Like she's Jenny from the block. Baby daddy.
Nope.
Come on, do better.
I hate this when this happens. Hang on, I have to unplug and put it back in. It's lost it.
Yeah, listen to music by Brian, aka You to Hef. Yes, I know you to Hef.
Thank you.
Hit the like, hit the subscribe, share the video out,
And turn it off there.
and ignore Jody while she talks to her wires.
Come on. Come on. Come on. Come on, Bessie. Come on. Come on now.
And apparently they're named, but you know.
There we go. Oh, I can hear you now. Woohoo! Hello.
Hello.
Was you talking about me?
No, not at all. I said, did she just say baby daddy like she's all ghetto or whatnot? I said, isn't she a professional? Who says baby daddy if you're a professional?
Oh, and what? Have you changed your what do you call it? Yes, I do. I do. I talk to all four of them.
Oh, okay, Simi, that's a lot of information. I really didn't need to know about my best friend, but thank you.
No, I only talk to the fairy ones. Not the bald ones.
Oh my God. Again, more information I didn't need to know about my best friend. But thank you.
You're welcome.
We have to talk to it to make it grow. But thank you.
Oh, no. None of that. No, thank you. No. I've been there, done that. Yeah. I was bored. Was it yesterday or the day before? And I did everyone's spirit animals, and then no one came to the street.
Simi said that's what she said.
Yeah. It's not uncommon being hairy. I don't like hair. Never have. Never
No, me either. I like those little like razor blades on the stick thing that you can buy.
No, that's prickly. No.
No, I love them. I think they're great.
No.
And it's mainly because I wear my hair back a lot, so I use it like along the top of my forehead to get the little baby hairs.
I thought you were talking about your beaver.
I'm not using that close to my genitals. I don't think so. No, razor blade is going down there. I don't think so.
Have you ever had it waxed?
Yes, I do it regularly.
It's lovely.
It hurts like a son of a bitch, but
what is it?
But it works great.
Yeah, it's ace.
You kind of
Never
have
go
to do
back
it.
after you've had one. Never, ever.
No, you won't.
Uh-uh.
But you can buy those at-home kits, which I
No,
don't have the
not the
guts.
same.
I don't have the guts.
Not the
I
same.
won't. I won't pull the little thing. I won't pull the little strip of
There is an
paper
absolute
back.
knack to it because you have to go. You have to apply with the hair and remove it against it. Otherwise, you will just snap it off, and you may as well shave it. So
No, otherwise I'll just leave the paper there forever because I won't pull it back
yeah,
because it hurts.
yeah.
And I'm like, no,
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 spend the
no.
money. I've actually seen a
Congratulations,
lot
little
of
piece of fabric. You belong to me now.
One client I had once used that, and she put it on, but she hadn't even clipped it, so she'd put it on a full head beaver of hair, like, and I'm like, you fucking idiot. And she rubbed it and melted it in, and then thought, oh shit,
Oh
I'm
my
gonna have to get this
God,
off. I
that's so
can't do it.
funny.
She couldn't move it because your hair grows in all different directions. It grows
Yeah.
inwards and downwards and upwards and different directions.
Yeah,
So
that's why it's best to wax it. Yeah.
you got to work backwards and come forwards because
I
the hair
know.
grows that way. Yeah.
Mhm.
So she then thought, oh, how am I going to get it off? I'll soak it in the bath. So she gets in the bath and she gets stuck to the bottom of the bath.
I got it done the day before I first got married, and this was in 1998 when nobody clipped or did anything
I
at all.
know. I gave birth in 98. I have the video to prove it. And that's the first thing I said when I watched it.
Girl, can I tell you how much that freaking hurt?
The first one hurt.
And I screamed and hollered, and my two best friends were holding me down, and they were like, Andy, shut up. And I was like, no, you hurt me. I don't even want to get married now.
I've actually seen quite a bit of damage done. You can tear skin open because that's delicate skin down there. You've got to be very careful.
Yes.
Very, very careful.
They didn't tell me, like, if you've never done that before, you should trim and stuff first. They didn't tell me because they're evil.
They should have asked you. That's their job. If they're professionals.
Well, I'm not friends with them now.
You've got to allow extra time for first timers. Yeah, no, I that was my specialty. I ran a successful business for 12 years.
Oh, seriously?
Yeah, waxing beavers, and I was the only male Brazilian waxer in the neighborhood too, so I capitalized on them as well. Yep.
I'm sorry you to have that you're here for this. I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
That's what the name of my email address was. My business name. Be Bear If You Dare.
Are you serious?
Yep.
I love you so much.
It was great. I loved it.
So I had a just real quick, and we'll get back to it. I'm sorry, but this is good news. I had a Monday a PET scan, and they called me yesterday clean.
Yeah,
Clean PET
shit hot. So it was all encapsulated, and they got it in the one go.
Yep, clean
Fucking
PET scan. I know. I was so happy, girl.
I bet you were. Fuck.
Anyway.
Now I need some of that luck my way. I've had the cuntiest week.
I'm sorry.
It's fucked, Mandy.
Just message me and tell me what's going on.
Oh, it's sort of partially my own fault because I wanted to try and get off the opiate medication and onto the naltrexone. But you've got to wean down off everything before you start it. So that's taken me 3 to 4 weeks of agony. And then I start the naltrexone and I've got a skin infection and they put me on antibiotics and I get gastro for 3 days. And I can't have gastro with an adrenal gland that doesn't work.
Oh, gosh, girl.
Yeah. So.
Does your doctor know you're trying to come off of it?
Oh, yeah. He's ringing me every day. We have Zoom meetings and shit.
Well, ask them to put you on something for anxiety because they will for like
I have.
part of time.
I've got Valium, but I don't like to take
Yeah,
it.
that's what I was going to say. They'll probably put you on Valium. Yep.
Yeah, I've been on it for years. Well, I've been filling the script for years, put it that way.
Well, take it. That will help you. It really will.
It's worth $1 a milligram. You know that.
Oh my gosh! What?
Yeah.
Valium here, I could probably get 30 filled for $2.
I get 50 for nothing.
Oh, okay. Well, then never mind.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's super cheap. It's super cheap here.
Well, once you've reached a certain monetary level, like when you're on the pension, I think you have to spend $300 on the PBS, or on the pharmaceutical benefit scheme, and
Mhm.
then the rest of the year, you're script free, except for ones that are not covered under the pharmaceutical benefit scheme.
Wow, that's not bad at all.
Yeah.
But don't you have to wait like a long time for doctor's appointments and stuff?
No.
Oh, you don't? Okay, that's good.
No. No. My doctor will, if I ring up and say I need to speak to him, he will answer the phone straight away.
Oh, that's great.
And I've had him for years. And he
Yeah, I've
knows
been
I
going to
wouldn't
my
ring.
doctor for 20 years. I love my doctor. He is fantastic.
Yeah. Yeah. So, yeah, that was shit. And then I nearly had a bloody adrenal crisis, which was fucked, which then triggered my fibro.
Oh yeah,
And
girl. I have fibromyalgia too. Do you take gabapentin or
I
Lyrica?
tried that. No, tried that. I'm on Palexia at the moment, and that's
Oh, I don't know
until
what
the
that is.
naltrexone. It's in the same family as Lyrica, but it's the next step up.
Oh,
Next
okay.
one.
Oh, next step up. Holy cow! I can't imagine anything stronger than Lyrica.
Oh my god, really? Fuck.
No,
You
my
never had?
Lyrica works perfect.
Oh no, mine's not. I think my GGT, my liver enzymes are 440 or something. They're supposed to be 15.
But if I miss one dose, I'm aching and scratching and itching and burning and stinging, and like I can tell if I miss one dose. One dose.
Lyrica?
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
And I'm on the strongest dose. I'm on 450 milligrams 3 times a day.
Is that all?
Is that all? It's the strongest dose they make.
But yeah, but you on anything else like oxycodone or
Well, yeah, I take
Tarjan or
oxycodone. That's what they gave me for pain with the
surgery? Yeah,
stuff. Yeah.
yeah. Well, I normally would take 6 of those a day minimum. 2 really, really strong,
6?
slow release morphine based
Holy
painkillers.
cow, girl.
Panadol, and
I don't know what that is.
I used to take Panadine Fort as well before, as well as the anti-inflammatories and all the vitamins. And
See, I can't take NSAIDs. I'm allergic.
Can't take what?
Any NSAIDs at all.
Try the there's one called, I don't know what the name of it over there is, but it's naproxen slow
Can't take
release.
it. Nope. Too strong. No NSAIDs.
Because it doesn't dissolve in your stomach. It goes further down and waits, so you don't get the.
It doesn't matter.
And I've taken that for 10 years, but then I take Somac with it as well. So
yeah, death still becomes her. Okay, so I didn't mean to interrupt your trial.
No, that's okay. Oh, yeah, sorry. Wow. I wouldn't if I had a choice.
We're getting back to it now, Simi. Sorry.
Yeah. All right. Oh, yeah, it's been fun. Just saying. Hence why I've got no camera up, because I've got this skin rash. It's a staph infection and it's disgusting.
And I've got a cold, and so my nose and eyes are swollen. So y'all don't want to see this, trust me.
Yeah, no, you don't want to see this. All right, I shall start.
All right.
Working that I just send things to Erica Dantel.
They've only got
Now the defendants, including Erica
closings.
Dantel's sister and father.
Closings and verdict today.
Maybe this will work. Maybe this will break up the marriage.
No way, sweetheart.
Again, trying to blame it on Greg, but how is Greg going to get these images?
I'll just.
These are all clearly from the defendant's phone.
Clip all that out later.
Lieutenant Wells told you that he found them in the defendant's phone.
Is she wearing a T-shirt to
every
court?
chance she can get. Greg is doing this. Greg is trying to expose the affair. This is all
Who's
Greg's
the guy
fault.
with the beard?
It is clearly her fault. And when this still
behind her the whole time. Is that her dad?
I don't know, but he's wearing like the 12-year-old skater T-shirt like he's gonna ride his skateboard home.
Did you watch this trial at all? Or?
I've watched a little bit of it, yeah,
It's actually it
but I
was
haven't
better
seen
than I thought.
closing or
Yeah.
anything like that.
Well, that'll give you more information. But yeah, she's a nasty piece of fucking work. That's for sure. Jesus. So she's.
Is she a
she's not-
coroner?
No. So the co-defendant, Chris Dantel, was the assistant coroner, and
Oh,
she
okay,
was
okay.
one of the transport, the body snatchers. She'd
Oh,
go and
okay.
help him pick up the dead bodies and shit.
Okay.
Yeah. And she's married to this Gregory Rice, who's a victim, and the coroner or assistant coroner was married to, or still is married to, Erica, I think her name was. She testified yesterday. And basically, she pretty much said about stating that her husband was violent and abusive, and she never brought him round to, their house or introduced him or anything like that.
No, I've been reading updates on it, and they've been saying like her facial expressions have been highly inappropriate,
Yeah,
and things like that.
So she ends up getting drunk and driving him out to a secluded spot, and she says to him, have you ever cheated on your wife? And he said no, and she said, well, you're about to. And
What?
Yeah, pretty much had a full-on affair, and then started sending these anonymous texts and shit, pretending that she was her ex-husband and all this,
Oh,
threats and violence and all the crap. And so they were both arrested because according to him, she shot him. She was going over to meet him, and he was in the coroner was in the car. And apparently, as he pulled over, she got out of the car and just shot him. But then he decided he would help her lift him into the car and dispose of the body. So anyway, he took a plea deal and testified against her yesterday and blamed it all on her.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. So he got sentenced yesterday, which I'll play after her verdict comes in.
Okay.
So yeah, that's pretty much the crux of it. Hello and welcome, Conservative Crossroads. Welcome. If you're first time here, suffering your jocks. That's all I can say. Brace yourselves, love.
Hey, I hear this girl is single, Conservative Crossroads.
Who?
This girl here on
Me?
the screen. On the screen.
Oh, do you know Conservative Crossroads?
I do. Comes to my channel.
Excellent. Welcome. All right, I shall start again.
Doesn't get the desired result, the next step of the plan goes forward. So this email was sent on October 1st.
So they're going
Now we
through
go to
the
October 2nd.
emails that she.
And they go to the preserve where they've been on the 29th, the 30th, and now the day of the murder.
Yeah,
And they
and
engage
that's dumping the body. They had a trail cam there, like, duh, dickheads. So they basically wrapped him in a tarp and tied a cinder block to him and chucked him in the river. Yeah, she a Horiel from Horry County.
Horry County.
Horry County Horiel.
There's a Horry County right near me in North Carolina. That's so funny.
In South Carolina.
Oh,
Horry?
maybe that's what it is, because it might be in South Carolina, because I'm right near the South Carolina line.
Well, she chucked him in the South Carolina River.
Oh my God.
Laid him down with a cinder block. So she's the cinder block skank.
I think Buck Cherry wrote a song about her. She's a crazy bitch.
Yeah, she sounds like it. So she started sending these fake text messages to him and his wife about the affair to break them up. And that's what they're going through now, I think.
in target practice.
Yeah.
So on October 2nd, they were together all night. Christopher Dantel told you that, but the evidence tells you that also. As you think through Christopher Dantel's testimony, think of how it's corroborated by phone records, surveillance videos, LPR photos, starting when they left their community, the community that the defendant moved into, knowing that the Dantels already live there. So they're leaving their community within moments of each other. And the phone activity shows the same thing.
What do you call us? What do you call a female sex worker in Horry County? Horry County. A hoary ho. What do you call a
I was
male
going to
sex
say
worker?
Mary Ellen Walter.
What do you call a male sex worker? A hee-haw. I went blank. Where do I get this shit?
That's hilarious.
They go to the
Hee-haw.
preserve, again for target practice. We see both cars leaving. We saw them coming in as well, but there they are leaving. There are the phone records showing that both phones are hitting off the tower that serves the preserve. Then they go to Abuelo's, seated at the bar together. Again, the phone records show that they were together all night. All the way through to 11:06, 11:07 p.m., the last connection that Greg's phone makes to any tower. We ran the surveillance video for you from Just Ask Hal, or the Lowe's food parking lot. You see the defendant's van and Dantel's Ford Explorer. You see them, you never see Greg. Why? Because he was being stored in the Myrtle Beach Funeral Home cooler.
Holy
We know that the
cow.
defendant was the last
She stuffed
person
him in a fucking
to talk to Greg
funeral
Rice.
fridge.
Twice. First, she calls at 9:45, and then again at 9:58. And at that point,
Surely
Greg
they
Rice
would have had
starts walking
CCTV
towards
footage of that.
the Clay
shit
Pond Road
at a funeral
entrance to the Arrowhead community.
Jeez.
They leave Arrowhead at the same time. Again, supported by the phone records. And we know
I've
what
got-
happened
I've
during that 6 or 7 minutes in the Arrowhead community. Christopher Dantel testified he was driving the defendant's van. As they're pulling down Arrowhead Boulevard, they see the victim walking down the road. Dantel begins to pull over, and the defendant says, "No, turn around, make a U-turn and pull up in front. Don't be awkward." And then as soon as he pulls up, the defendant jumps out of the car and fires multiple shots, killing Greg Rice. And
Why
what's
didn't he just
interesting
drive
is
off?
every single shot
I would have.
is on the left
No.
side of the body. So picture this, that the van is in front of me. I'm Greg Rice, I'm walking
Hey,
up,
let's go.
door opens,
Hello,
I see the
let's
defendant
go.
pop out with a gun in her hand, and I start turning to run for my life.
Thank
Shot,
you, Andy.
shot, shot,
Of
shot.
course.
He saw it coming. Now, the defense made quite a bit of, well, everyone, like Captain Wilson, did you park in the lot? Did you go to the sidewalk? Did you walk up to the apartment? Did anyone say shots fired? Did you see any crime scene?
Did you go to
13 first
sidewalk?
On whether or not there were any calls about
Has
shots
she
being
been
fired.
Englishing long?
I suggest
scary
that
looking
anyone who
dude.
has lived in Horry
Um,
County for any
I
length of
tell you, I
time
tell you.
has
Real
heard gunshots.
scary.
And quite frankly, if you called the police every time you heard
Eyes
gunshots,
get into your soul.
you wouldn't have time for much else. But what you should also consider is where the shots happened. In this, next to this 8-acre tract. And there was testimony, I believe it was by Sergeant Jones, that a shot from a .22 caliber, which is what the murder weapon was, is much
Thanks,
softer
ladies.
than say a 9mm or a .357 Magnum.
And I use that term
But the
loosely.
fact that no one called in shots fired is really of no moment.
Have a look at her eyes.
Again, we go back to the last data connection that
Thank
we
you.
have with Greg Rice's phone. And as you were watching that sort of animated slide, Dr. Marcus loves these animated slides, puts them in every presentation. But if you looked at that animated slide detailing
Is there,
the last sort of life of Greg Rice's phone,
Just quickly, whilst I remember, and discreetly online, any more fallout at all that you've heard?
Fallout. What do you mean?
Uncivil?
What do you mean fallout?
Comment?
Say that again, the last
No
part?
comment?
No.
Oh, good. Okay, cool.
Nope,
Shut up.
all good.
Didn't think so.
you will notice that Greg's phone is tracking with the defendant. At one point in that animation, it was geolocation data of the defendant with Greg Rice's phone. Christopher Dantel also told you that after they had stored the body in the funeral home,
Took them a while to go to court,
at
didn't
some
it?
point in the
2020?
evening, the defendant wanted to go back and get some of Greg's
I think
belongings
this was
so that she
in-
could plant them at the apartment
During
and kind
COVID,
of
wasn't it?
give life to this
Yeah,
missing person.
Right dead in the
story.
center.
Well, how do we know that that is accurate? Because he told you about a Trading bomber.
Well, he He went to trial first 7 months ago. So she's
Oh, that's why. Okay.
Yeah. Because he took a plea deal as well to test. He was testifying against her.
Her side of the court looks rough.
Yeah.
Like the people. Sorry, but they do.
And they're close to you, Mandy.
Yeah, well, that.
Sorry about that.
Hey, shut up.
Closer to you than me.
I
No,
learned a lot
seriously,
about
they're
the
only
business
like
of
20
death in
minutes
this case.
from
I
me.
never knew that there was a traitor bomber, someone that would show up at a funeral home at midnight to embalm the body. But sure enough, they did. And again, geolocation data shows that the embalmer's wife, Joanne Cusack, was at the Myrtle Beach funeral home at the same time as Meagan Jackson, her geolocation data. And that's at 12:38 at night.
She looks like a mad
So-
bulldog.
Oh, she's
Based
horrible.
on everything that we had seen so far, all the evidence that has been entered,
Apart
the
from
defendant was
the,
charged with murder.
You know, the murderous bitch thing.
Now, typically, the prosecution and the defense fight over just about everything. But I cannot imagine
Well, there's
a
another
reasonable
murderer.
argument that Greg Rice was not murdered.
Felonious killer.
Shot a minimum of 5 times
Ouch.
and dumped in a river to be found 5 weeks later. So then, what it is up to you to decide is
Definitely.
the defendant guilty of the murder? Certainly, by Mr.
He
Dantel's
knows.
testimony, she
Yeah.
is. If you have any hesitation about that, then South Carolina has hand of one, hand of all.
I'm from Charlotte, Anna.
If
Charlotte,
they were
North
acting
Carolina.
together and you heard that he had originally been charged with murder and criminal conspiracy and accessory after the fact, entered a plea with no agreements with the state to criminal conspiracy and accessory after the fact. So if you think, well, maybe Dantel did it and not the defendant, you go back to this hand of one, hand of all, which says that it doesn't matter.
Well,
2 people can be guilty of killing another when only one of them has a gun and only one of them fires a shot. But I would suggest to you that there should be no question in your mind who fired the multiple shots that killed Greg Rice.
One to the side of
Because
the
all you need to do is look at who benefited from his murder. Christopher Dantel and Erica Dantel.
Well, not
never met
Greg.
Rice.
Nope.
Never. The
Oh,
news of the affair and the pregnancy was all
who wants to watch a child? We just want to chat.
Oh, that's a very, very unfortunate pause face.
Oh, sorry, Mary Ellen. Sorry. not sorry.
Very unfortunate pause face.
I decided on the weekend to binge the Menendez brothers Netflix 9 episode documentary thing.
Oh, I've seen it. That's crazy, isn't it?
Yeah, I hadn't heard of them. Well, I mean, I'd heard of them, but I didn't know the case. And they've
They're
been
about to
popping
get
up
out,
on my
maybe.
feed. Well, they've just been resentenced. Yeah, new evidence has come to light of a letter that Lyle had written to his cousin, and his cousin had passed away. And when his family was cleaning out his belongings, they found it. So yeah,
Yeah, their parents
but
were not very good to them.
34 years they've been in jail.
Yeah, I think it's
34.
time. I think it's time to let them out.
It was their apparently one of Court TV's one of the very first live court presentations in
Mhm.
'89
Mhm.
that was streamed, and it was one of the first battered child syndrome defenses as well.
Because you know
So there
what?
you
In
go.
the 80s, they would
Yeah.
put you in the same room as your parents,
Yep.
speaking from experience and going, did your mom or dad abuse you? They don't? Okay.
Yeah. It was if you're going to dob them in, like if they've threatened to kill you, like, duh.
Yeah. Yeah.
Mhm. You're not going to
And
go around and
If
they
you
don't
didn't
know
say
you.
the right thing, then when they left, you were in trouble.
That wasn't even a question until I went to trial. Like that, no one knew.
Mm-hmm.
Except the cousin, I think. But yeah, no, very sad. And then they've done an updated one. It's just like a 2-hour thing, and they actually have them on phone interviews over the years and like more current now. Have you seen them lately? Like
Yeah.
what they look like?
Yeah. You know,
Um,
they released a book, even though they knew they could make no money on it. But they wanted to let other
People know.
people know about if you were abused, what to do.
Yeah. Well, yeah, there's another one on Netflix, a 2-hour one that's up to date, and it actually is like it shows the crime scene and tells the real story with their words and them on the phone.
Did you
Good.
see where Karen Reed just signed a $4 million movie deal?
I'm not surprised.
She deserves
surprised.
it. I say good
Yeah,
on
I
her.
know.
Good on her.
Why do you think she hasn't been interviewed? That's worth
Oh,
money.
because people are valleying for her interview, which apparently she just signed it, but she's not saying with who, but I guess it's next week. But
It's not Netflix, I don't think.
no,
I
it's
think
not.
it's the same
It's
one as
public
Turtle Eye.
access television.
Yeah.
But it's over $1 million.
Well, that's the first of what she's got.
So
Book deals,
she's saying
got
the second one is
she's
with
got-
Turtle Boy, though. The second one is with Turtle Boy.
Well, he's pretty much written her out of his.
Yeah. Well, can I just be honest and say the fact that she didn't give me her first interview, I'd write her out of my stuff too. I'm just being honest. She is.
No.
I get it. He did her a favor by saying, no, you need the money to live and to carry on. But if it weren't for him, then she wouldn't have had all the community backing. She wouldn't have had pretty much worldwide backing. And I think that she should have given him that first interview. But that's me.
Maybe she will now. She's signed this deal.
Yeah. Oh, that's a good point.
She
Maybe she
can't
will.
release anything until then, because otherwise the value decreases. So
You see
and that's
everybody
why
getting
our
fired
adjustments
and rehomed. And
no, I haven't even
Oh
kept
my
up
gosh,
with it,
girl.
Andy. I've been just
Buchanan's
exhausted.
gone.
I heard that one, yeah.
And
And I know they're about to release all these messages between Tully and Krusty,
who's also
and-
gone. And
what do you mean also
the police officer, I can't remember her name because
Deva?
Dever's gone.
Oh, they sacked her from Boston.
Yeah, she's not allowed to work in Massachusetts as a police officer ever again.
Yeah. Didn't see that coming.
I kind of feel bad for her, honestly, because
She's not silly. She knew what she was doing.
I don't know. I feel like she was kind of threatened. Like, do the right thing.
Still had a choice. And she didn't do the right thing, so she got to pay the price.
And she's a single mom, and she's just trying to hold on to her job, and I don't know. Yeah, that's true. She did have a
The right
choice.
fucking thing at the start. What she testified to.
She should have gotten on the stand and said, I was threatened to do the right thing or I was going to lose my job. And here I am scared and I don't know what to do. That's what she should have done.
She could have approached the defense. She could have done any number of things.
That's true. That's true. Okay, sorry.
That's all right with my fault.
We haven't had a chance to talk since the
end. No. I don't get out much.
Already out.
Literally.
So what benefit would it
out? What is this word?
To kill Greg Rice?
Yeah.
You can't stuff that secret back in the bag. And as I said before, the news of the affair and the pregnancy did not end Dantel's marriage.
Oh, Grumpy
the
Cat
defendant is the only one who benefited from Greg's murder.
Looks like Grumpy Cat
in the seeds that she planted along the way. In a moment, after defense closing and the judge's charge, you will be asked to render a verdict.
Not Grumpy Cat.
Verdict in Latin means to speak the truth. Something I would suggest the defendant has an extremely difficult time doing.
Grumpy Cat is to be
it is your
furry
job
bitch.
To end the defendant's continued deception and speak the truth and convict her of murder. Thank you.
The defense didn't even put on a case.
She's just going to take a stand on herself.
I'm just going to race to the bathroom and grab my cream. Wait a second.
Can you stop it for just 1 second?
Yeah.
Okay. Can you pull something up? If I pull it up in the background? Okay. Okay, go ahead. It's in the background.
Oh, hang on. Let's take that off first.
Do you see the resemblance?
Yeah.
Okay, sorry.
What you're going to hear in the jury charge in terms of reasonable doubt, you're going to hear reason to hesitate. What you're looking for in this case is a reason to hesitate. And in this case, reasons to hesitate. How about the first one? Every word that was just uttered to you would have been used in a trial to try to
He's
convict
cute.
Chris Dantel.
Oh, he's a dipshit.
Every
Oh, is he? Oh, never
single
mind.
fact you have heard, just
I don't know. I kind of like him a little dumb,
would be used to convict
but just a little.
Dantel the murder, not
Preston Britain.
Meagan Jackson, and that should horrify me.
I'll be back in a sec.
So let's look at what you're going to hear. You're going to hear, of course, going to tell you about not holding it against the defendant for not testifying, and take that to heart. It's part of your constitutional right.
You don't have to defend that.
And think about this for a second. When it comes to who didn't testify, you can't consider Meagan Jackson didn't testify, but you should consider the fact that May never put up a chief investigating officer. He never took stand. You want to know why? He don't want to co-sign this. He's ashamed of what this case looks like. Because he knows what I know, which is for you to convict Meagan Jackson, you have to believe Chris Dantel. And that's something nobody should have to do.
So the bippity
Let's look
boppity
at what they
horse
actually
with Santa
produced.
Claus now?
Because once you remove Chris Dantel, what you start to
Santa's
see
down
is
bad.
there's not a whole lot of evidence of a crime, of an actual crime. They've shown to you Meagan Jackson wanted Chris Dantel to have the courage to go tell his wife about their affair. She wanted him to go tell him. That's not a crime. Now, did she do that in ways that maybe we wouldn't agree with? Sure. But her wanting that marriage, that affair to be outed, that is not a crime. And the fact that they're trying to get you over there and make that the case should tell you they have a lot of weakness in their actual case. An actual case requires them to prove things that happened at the time of the crime, which they can't do. Because for 4 years, they've been telling themselves, and anyone who will listen, that this happened at the Myrtle Beach funeral home. It wasn't until 7 months ago that they started telling you it's spent like apartments. How can you believe and not hesitate when they have shifted the crime scene 4 years later? They're making sense. So what they presented? Well, they presented some evidence about where phones were. You got some phone information. Okay. The problem with phone information is this. It doesn't put you in the actual what's going on moment. It doesn't tell you if Meagan Jackson drove Greg Rice alive back to the Myrtle Beach funeral home and dropped him off so that he could talk to Chris Dantel. It doesn't tell you she went inside. It doesn't tell you what's actually happening in the moment. And they knew that coming into this case. Do you think it's a coincidence that he wrote a statement out, Chris Dantel did, and hand-delivered it to Ken Marcus? And an hour later, the state hasn't changed? He hand-wrote a statement and told the state he did not see it happen. He was not present. He was not there. That is what he told the state.
Dude,
And an
your
hour
suit
later,
doesn't
that's changed.
match.
Now all of a sudden I'm a witness to it. If that doesn't tell you, give you a reason to hesitate, I don't know what else could. I cannot think of something more important than the fact that man would change his statement within 1 hour to assist the state to try to convict Meagan Jackson. See what that does? It tells you exactly what he's about. He's about Chris Dantel. He's about himself. That's the reason he wouldn't tell Erica. That's the reason he's pushing Meagan. And that's the reason he killed Greg Rice, because he is about himself. What else did they present? Well, look at some of the other investigators. I have never seen the investigators that took this stand. They looked sad up here. They were ashamed of this, and you should be. I mean, you spent 4 years telling everybody this happened at Myrtle Beach funeral home, and the one thing that changes your mind on that is the testimony of Chris Dantel. That's the only piece of evidence that changed what they believe happened that night. Can you count on Chris Dantel?
And I understand that
They shuffled
too.
up 2 dentists. I don't know why.
Yeah. I get
They shuffled
both
up 2
sides of
dentists.
the coin.
I don't know why. I'll tell you, yeah, I do know why. Because if you don't have real evidence of what happened in terms of the crime, what you do is you expand the trial.
Well,
You
his
go for the
suit
right
doesn't
evidence,
match. That's one thing I
you go
don't
back,
agree
you
with
go back
him,
and all this.
Tricia.
But ask yourself as you're looking at it, does any of it actually prove what happened? You can piece it all together, but when you get right down to it, you're always going to have to come back to trusting Chris Dantel. And that's the one thing the state didn't want you to have to do, but they could never get around that. Let's talk about some of the things they clearly missed. They want you to
Grumpy
believe
cat and grumpy claws.
that she returned a wallet and keys the following day. You might have heard that. The wallet and keys are sitting right there in evidence. Guess what you don't have to go with this? A DNA sample. You talk about easy. You talk about simple. Send the keys off. Have the DNA checked. Comes back Meagan Jackson, you might have a little something. They didn't do that. Oh, make sure you look at that blanket or that sheet. They want to tell you that sheet is evidence that Meagan Jackson had that in her van. Remember what they told you about it? They told you it looked like it came from the Myrtle Beach funeral home. Guess what that evidence was going to look like 4 years ago? Sorry, 7 months ago. 7 months ago, that evidence was going to be that sheet. That sheet is evidence that Chris Dantel was sitting there in the Myrtle Beach funeral home when Meagan Jackson brought Greg Rice there, and he killed him. That isn't a Brian Staff. She worked for Brian Staff Transport. That was a Myrtle Beach funeral home sheet's what they told you. It's sitting right there with Chris Dantel. The reason they didn't like that is because they can never prove to you, and still haven't to this day, what was going on in her mind. But I think we kind of know. She showed up on October 2nd with what? When they went to the shooting range, what did she have in her car? Blow up Betty. She's still trying to woo Chris Dantel. She got blow up Betty. She's not worried about shooting targets. She's looking to have more sex, and that's what their relationship was about. You can pick any night from the time they started dating, and they are together, they are swapping cars, they're having sex in their car. That's what their relationship was about. And she was true to that on the night of October 2nd. That's what she showed
I'm
up.
trying for the gear shift.
Do I think she wanted Greg Rice to help her
Right
out?
here.
I absolutely think she did. Was Greg Rice an imposing guy? Yes, he was. If Greg Rice had a chance to talk to Chris Dantel and tell him, hey man, get your stuff straight, I think he'd have done it. Go tell your wife, I think he'd have done it. And that's what Meagan Jackson wanted him to do. She wanted Greg Rice to help her get Chris Dantel to man up.
Objection, Your Honor. This is all arguing facts, not
But
evidence.
I'll let her go. That's exactly what was going on. That's what they proved to you, is that she wanted this affair to be out. That's what they had proven to you. And did she go about it the right way? Maybe not, but she wanted it to be out. What is also true, we start talking about motive. Her and Greg Rice's relationship, yeah, it's typical ex stuff. They talk a little vulgar to each other, they fight over kids. It's typical marital, ex-marital. There's some nastiness in there.
Ugh,
But Greg
Tricia.
Rice,
Ugh.
Greg Rice, having him in her life was a benefit to her. They made a big deal out telling you she's not the best mother. Well, guess what a mother who's struggling needs? Help. Getting rid of Greg Rice gets rid of her help. There is no motive there. But think about Chris Dantel on the other hand.
I dated a guy who owned a funeral home one time.
He's about to lose Erica.
I will never do it again.
And that Greg Rice is complicating his life and is going to out his affair. There's a text. If he sees Erica, he's going to tell her. So the only person that actually has a motive, a true motive, to get rid of Greg Rice.
Oh, she's trying to look pitiful. I'm not buying it.
Can you trust him? Well, let's consider some reasons why maybe not. Got a little list here. Reasons that you should not trust
Sorry, I'm back.
Chris Dantel.
Welcome back.
He doesn't even recall his plea. He doesn't recall his plea. He sat up here 7 months ago, took the plea, or he slithered his way out of the murder charge. He doesn't remember.
I'm calling you now.
His handwritten statement to Marcus. His handwritten statement to Marcus that he changed within 1 hour. That's the second reason. He sat here and told you he was scared of Meagan Jackson, that they'd be sleeping with her. After this occurs, and he tells you, she did it and I had to watch it, I had to watch it all. He's sleeping with her. Do you think that that's really, can you believe that? No, you can't believe that. How about this, man? They slipped this right by you. The only person,
Old school, you were a mess.
who has great rights to blood on him
Oh,
is Chris Dantel. That's it, guys. The case should be over. The only person with blood on their shoe is Chris Dantel. How about this? He tried to tell you that Meagan Jackson went home after this from Lowe's. They went home and she showered. She got all changed up. Had to get the blood off of her. Well, guess what? You saw the surveillance video footage. When they go back to Lowe's, she's wearing the same exact thing she was wearing when she left Lowe's the first time. She hadn't changed her clothes. She was wearing the same black scrubs.
Daddy,
Can't trust Chris Dantel. Who disposed of the body? Who disposed of the body? Chris Dantel. Does he strike you as the kind of
See
guy
this fake sad face she's doing? I'm just not buying it.
He is the most selfish person I've ever seen.
I actually considered doing something like that after I did my nursing. But
I dated a guy who owned a funeral home for a long time, actually.
Yeah.
It just, he was a little weird when people weren't around.
Oh, Teresa.
Cold shoulder, Teresa. No, Teresa, no. But I'm gonna remember it.
Mhm. He'd stand in front of the mirror and go, "Do I wear the short shirt or tops?"
Oh my god!
I know. I actually knew a guy that did all the reconstructive work, like putting people back together to make them look like they used to, type of thing. And we had it was a horrific accident out in the
Oh, gosh.
country where I used to live, where I grew up.
Mhm.
And it was a notorious piece of road. And one of my brother's mates was selling a Ferrari that he had. And this girl had come over to buy it. And I think she'd either driven for hours or flown over. I can't remember, one of the two.
Mhm.
And so she's come over and met him at his place. And he's taken it for a test drive and hit a tree at 200 k's an hour or something. And
Gracious.
apparently the guy that was doing the reconstruction was handed 12 garbage bags, pretty much.
Oh my gosh.
Yep.
They weren't red Solo cups though.
No, they weren't. Nope.
Oh, okay. Just checking.
Yeah, no. It was absolutely horrific. He was only like early 30s, just being a show off to this chick, and yeah.
Oh gosh, that's awful.
Yeah.
But this guy, like, he told me, and he was, a stellar businessman, made good money. He opened up 2 other sister practices while we were together. But then he was like, he broke it on
So
me
he
one day.
owned the funeral home.
He owned the funeral home. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's always been my desire to do it in a casket. I was like,
Oh,
"Ben."
really?
Yeah. I was like, then you
Oh,
better find somebody
man.
else. You better find somebody
Oh,
else, my
I thought that
God,
was you.
because that chick ain't me. Sorry.
I thought it was you saying that.
No, it was him
Oh,
saying that.
That's
I
disgusting.
was like, that chick ain't me.
No.
Tricia, so hell no.
Why didn't you say, well, the closest I'll go is silk sheets. That's it.
Yeah. We
get
didn't see
that
each other
embalming
anymore
fluid,
after that day.
Yeah.
until my dad passed away, and then that was the nursing home or the funeral home my mom picked for my
Well, that's
dad.
what the chick did. She would go and collect them and take them to the funeral home. Pretty much.
But you know what? He knocked thousands of dollars off my dad's funeral. Thousands. And he was like, can I get some kind of compensation? I said, sure. And I hugged him. I said, thanks, and walked away.
Yeah.
He sat up here.
Well,
Yeah.
at this point of the game, this Preston Britain is the only one who have any dipshit award points. So he is in the lead.
Oh, gosh.
He's got 4.
His jacket doesn't match his pants. And I'm
Oh.
sorry, I have ADD real bad. It's all I
Yes.
can focus on. Oh.
Told you he disposed the body with some kind of favor. You ain't buying that. You can't. You know what? He did a lot. I called him Chris Dantel, full of lies and cries. I'll tell you when he wasn't crying. He wasn't crying when he was so
So live
shocked
and tries.
and lows. Just grabbing cinder blocks and tarts, stick them in his grocery cart, and let's grab the Pepsi. He was mortified about what had happened. He looked pretty casual there to me. I don't know about you.
He's been a wise ass.
How about that very sweet wife of his who sat up here and remains committed to him after he sent his heartfelt text about how much he loved her, was going to stay with her.
His wife's
After he
quiet
killed
the whole time. She's
Chris Dantel.
to him.
He's still sleeping with Meagan Jackson. Can't trust you.
Didn't you say the guy in the green vest is her new beau?
How about that?
What?
He's seen sneaking
Didn't you
around.
say
with
that?
Steve.
Or did I
No.
misunderstand?
No,
Oh, I
no.
misunderstood.
I don't know who it is.
How about
Oh, I'm
that?
sorry,
Jackson.
Teresa. I
About
thought
Ray
you were
Thomas.
saying that was her new boo thing.
No,
guess
I
that's
I asked who he was at the start.
all. Oh, okay.
I have no idea. But Teresa, apparently the judge sheriff trial thingy in Kentucky. Apparently in Kentucky, there is a law that the state or the Commonwealth can request for a change of venue. Because the defense wants to have the trial in Lecter County. Is it Lecter County? So I'm hoping that they still have it at Lecter County because Teresa is like 2 minutes up the road and she's boots on the ground.
Teresa, this ended really close to Christmas, and Santa was saying, this bitch better stay on the good list because I'm telling you, I'm not unpacking my slave for one freaking president.
What? What are we
I'm being stupid about the guy in the green vest being Santa Claus. I'm sorry.
Oh, no, I was talking about the sheriff that shot the judge trial.
Oh.
You seen that one?
Yes, that
Oh.
was crazy.
Yeah. Well, that's
Did you see where Koberger signed a plea deal?
Yeah, that was.
That shocked me that he did that. I
Yeah.
just knew he was going to go through with a jury trial. That
I've
shocked
actually
me.
got the plea deal somewhere. I downloaded it. Wasn't particularly exciting. It was ironclad, but it wasn't exciting.
It surprised me.
Yeah. I would just like to know fucking why. Why?
Yeah, why did he do it?
Why
Well-
them? Why?
Well, he said in his pleading that one of the girls worked at a coffee shop
Yeah.
and that he hit on her and she told him to get lost.
Oh,
That's
so
all
it
we
wasn't
know.
in hell.
That's all we know. But we don't know if that's why or anything like that. But
I
just-
remember hearing way back at the start when it all happened that he had attended a party where it was a pool party where Kaylee and Maddie had gone to, and he tried to hit on them there, and they'd pretty much done the
here's
same
what
thing.
I think. Crazy. That's what I think. Crazy. Crazy.
What got me though was the fact that 11:22 kept coming up in that.
I know. I noticed that
Yeah.
too.
Yes.
I noticed that too. What is up
Yeah.
with that time?
know.
Oh my gosh. That will stick with me for the rest of my life, that time.
Yep. The
Did you
address-
see where Judge Beverly Canoni
Yes, onto
got-
the fucking civil court where Paul O'Keefe has got his case against Karen.
Yes. And she specifically asked for the case with Karen Reed. Specifically asked. And she said,
Yeah.
it won't be a conflict of interest because I know this case. And
Mhm.
so I'll be able to make a stern judicial answer against this case. And so it'd be best if I handled it versus anyone else. No, you want your comeuppance. You want to be able to lay it to her, and that's what you want. It would be horrific if they gave it to you.
Mhm.
But anyway,
Who are you talking about? Udahep?
who, me?
No, Udahep. I don't know who he's talking about. All the times who said he was innocent.
Oh, I think he's talking about the Menendez brothers.
No. I don't know. No idea.
I think.
Maybe Chris Dantel.
Jules True Crime. I have no idea who that is.
No, me either. Oh, Koberger was framed. Okay.
I don't.
No.
How
there's
about
too
that?
much
The
evidence.
photo Betty is not very good target practice. Not much of a marksman myself, but I'm pretty sure if you shoot an inflated object, it just explodes the one time you shoot it. That would be the
I
worst
was
target
actually looking
practice I've
forward
ever
to
heard
that
of.
trial, but
You would want something that would withstand some gunshots. Can't trust it.
oh well.
And if at all, you find yourself in some crazy way wanting to trust this man, I don't think you would. If I told you, he's up here testifying, trying to get his plea reduced. That's why he's here. He's here for who? He's here for himself. That's what he's here. I'll tell you something that really makes me not trust the state, frankly. Not just them having people's phones, but what makes me not trust the state. How about how they're doing you with Chris Dantel? When it suits them, he's their buddy. Hand one is the hand of one. Meagan Jackson, Chris Dantel's hands, they'll tell you we're in the cookie jar together. Well, then he takes a plea. His plea makes it impossible for him to be charged with murder. The state took his hand out of the jar. Here's what's wicked, man. You're so wicked. When they bring him back up here and let him testify in a way, where they're going to ask you to consider the hand of one hand of all. So what are they going to do? They're going to stick it back in the jar. When it suits them, they're going to stick it back in the jar. And as soon as we leave here, they take it right back out. That's crooked. Feel that's
And
what
your
it is.
system worked.
They're not asking you to believe a man they don't believe. They're asking you to trust Chris Dantel, and they don't trust him. You know why this conspiracy charge is gone? The court decided not to let us support conspiracy charge. You no longer have it.
Objection, Your Honor.
This day,
Move to strike.
I strike that. That's another
Oh,
law.
well, calm down.
Oh, he's done that all trial.
When it comes down to the hand of
Like
one
that.
and the hand of all,
Five votes.
that is, and I know we open check from the ring email, knew it. We read
Oh,
it while
work
live,
calls.
because when you're
Gotta
trying
go.
to count
Bye,
on that
dear.
for somebody guilty of murder,
All right,
you
love
know
you.
you got a good case.
Thank you. Bye.
You know you do, man. If you can't put Meagan Jackson on the scene, of course, they don't have a scene here, you know your case is. I'll tell you what the real reason. It's not that they don't trust Chris Dantel. I mean, I know they don't trust Chris Dantel. You don't trust Chris Dantel. But what I find offensive about their position is they don't trust you. They don't trust you. Because if they trusted you, they would tell you that the case we put up here, the case we put up as the state, banks on Chris Dantel telling you she just jumped out and started shooting. I have no idea what's going to happen. That's what he told me. That is their case. That's evidence they put into the record. But now they want you to just bypass some of that. With stuff. So what happened? Mr. Britton, give us some theories. Well, here's evidence in the record. Pretty simple. You can consider reverse truth. Very common. Co-defendant will strike up here, testify against their defendant, and tell you exactly what they did, and put it on the other person. Meagan Jackson, sitting in the car with Chris Dantel, they pull up, Chris Dantel gets out, starts shooting, and she had no idea he was going to do it. That is, you can believe that all day long. That is as likely, and when it comes to motive, much more likely than the fact that Meagan Jackson would get rid of her father, or the children, the father of her children. But that's really not what this case, in my opinion, look, we look at Flint Lake Apartments as a crime scene, it kind of falls apart. I don't know, I mean, they have a witness who tells you gunshots are fired there all the time. I don't know, maybe you believe that, maybe you don't. I find that pretty hard to believe. I find it hard to believe that when they're out there 9 times, nobody says, okay, listen, I'm gonna tell you, we've got gunshots out here all the time. I heard some, but I didn't say anything to you the first 4 times you were here because I didn't think it was all that important. Because we just, we don't ever report it. I find that extremely hard to believe. I find it hard to believe that they claim she's out there picking up evidence the next day and nobody sees that either, in broad daylight,
Yeah.
with her kids running around.
No one he's the
That
shot
don't make any
on
sense to
the
me.
side of the
It
road.
doesn't make any sense to me. And it didn't to them either. So you should not feel bad about that. If that does not make sense to you, you should feel good with that, because it doesn't make any sense.
I didn't know she was going to do it, but I helped her with everything else. I helped her load the body in. I helped her load the body at the funeral parlor. I helped her dump the body, but no, nah, didn't shoot him.
And that's why the state didn't believe it. And that's why the chief investigating officer didn't testify. It's because their original position on this is probably what happened. And then you can read into the evidence. She goes and she picks him up. And she gets him to the Robert funeral home alive. And their problem is they can't tell you what happened after that. They can't blame her. And since the snake has already slithered out of the room, they can't blame him. But I can promise you, as soon as once you make that decision, Flint Lake Apartments is an unlikely spot. You have more reasons to hesitate. And the rest of this case falls at the Robert funeral home where they themselves believe it falls. Dave, of course, indulge for a second, Your Honor.
All right.
Just in closing, I would just say, when you get back there, what you really follow the court's instructions, but just ask yourself at the end of the day, do you trust Chris Dantel? Because the only way you can convict her is if you trust that man. I don't think you can.
All right, we're not going to sit through jury instructions. Sorry about that. Not really. So we will get. Oh, they go to verdict watch. Blah blah blah. How long did they deliberate for? Let me see. Hang on. So that's 3-hour mark. 1 hour. About 2 hours, apparently. Come on, fingers work. Thank you. Drum roll. Anyone want to guess it? Anyone have any idea? Just take a wild shot, let's go to the dark. Yeah, I've got a cup of soup now. It's delicious. Warms the heart of your cockles. How do you place the blame on someone else's family on the victims of a crime? Like, the fuck? Blames them for what? I do believe there is more to that story, though. There's more to be told. And once the gag order's lifted, I think the Gonsalves family will let rip. I can't say their name. Kaylee's parents. Oh, come on. Complicit with what? Bumroll, yeah. Have you heard from True Crime Metrics recently, Udhead? Oh, come on, fuck. L. I could do a bum roll, but I could do this too.
I'm going to pause here and say, well, yes, you fucking rock the defense rest. Let her rip like defense rest.
What are I waiting for? Oh, yeah. Only her.
Reach the verdict. Anything from the state before we bring the jury in?
Nothing from the state, Your Honor.
Anything from the defense? Nothing from the defense.
Okay.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, those of you who are with us, I give this instruction every time before the jury comes in. And that is simply to let you know that we do not have any type of outburst or anything of that nature, regardless of what the verdict is. This is just simply to let you know that if you're unable to contain your emotions, you need to excuse yourself from the courtroom now. Because regardless of what the verdict is, there's to be no display or no outburst or any sign of emotion whatsoever. All right, so if you need to be excused, you can go ahead and excuse yourself now. All right, let's go ahead and bring the jury in.
How do I design a bum roll emoji? A drum with a puff of smoke.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. I understand the jury's reached a verdict, is that correct? All right, and have you written the verdict on the indictment, signed it as the foreperson and dated?
Yes.
All right, if you would please hand it to the bailiff. All right, I'll ask the clerk if she would please publish the verdict.
Indictment number 2021 GS 2601191. The state of South Carolina, County of Horry versus Meagan Marie Jackson as to the charge of murder, with the jury by unanimous consent find this defendant guilty. Signed by foreperson Jeffrey Roberts, dated June 17, 2025. Ladies and gentlemen of the jury, if this is your verdict, please so signify by raising your right hand. Thank you.
All right, let the record reflect that all jurors raise their right hand. Any opponent of the jury by the defense? No, sir. All right. All right, ladies and gentlemen, I want to thank you for your service. That'll conclude your
Hang on
duties
one
as jurors in this case and for this term of court. I want to thank you for your service. I know jury duty is not a fun thing to do, but it is an important thing to do and a vital thing to do. You have a 1-year disqualification from serving as jurors in state circuit court. You've got a 3-year exemption. I hope you don't exercise your exemption because you do need the jurors. And I want to thank you for your service. You're free to go at this time if you want to go. If you want to stay until the conclusion of the proceedings, you can do that as well to remain in the jury box. So it's up to you as to those of you who wish to go ahead and leave now, you can leave. Thank you very much. All right, anything before we impose sentence?
No, Your Honor.
Well, first, I guess at this point in time, I know the rules of criminal procedure do allow time periods for post-trial motions. Is there any post-trial motions at this time?
John, we move for a judgment NOV by you based on the adequacy of the evidence presented, and also that you impose a verdict as 13th juror. Having sat through the trial, heard the evidence, we make those two motions. And we would like a little time to flesh those out if possible.
All right, well, I'm going to deny both motions for judgment NOV, and also the motion is the 13th juror. I think there's sufficient evidence presented to the jury that supports their verdict. As I said, the rules of criminal procedure do give you time periods to file post-trial motions, so I'll entertain any other post-trial motions you want to do pursuant to those rules. I'll leave that time. All right, anything further at this time?
Your Honor, we are printing the sentencing sheet. We do have 2 victims who would like to address the court. Savannah Rice, who's been printing the whole time, and then Zachary Rice, who is the victim's son from another relationship. With the court's permission, that would be via WebEx because he's had help.
No, I'm not doing
All right, you ready? Here we go. How quick was that? Whipped it out. 2 seconds flat. We have a bum roll. It's the best I could do with the time I was given.
Okay.
All right, so once we get the sentencing sheet, I will give the victims who are present an opportunity to speak if they wish.
I believe Ms. Rice wants me to read her statement.
Well, I mean, we're not doing that right now. I need the sentencing sheet. I'll let you know when I want to hear from you.
So he's going to sentence her straight up.
She just went back to records to get it, Your Honor.
Oh,
So she was charged with what, first degree? Is that right? Or conspiracy? She doesn't look very happy. Oh. Oh. Poor little cinder block skank. You'll be right. You'll have plenty of friends in prison.
Your Honor, I believe that Zachary Rice's email and statement that he must have already had prepared. So with the court permission, I'll read that one as well. He's a statutory victim, Your Honor.
yeah, but why isn't he here? He has a right to be here, but he's not here.
Because he was forced to take custody of the children when their father was killed, and he has had to struggle to find jobs to now all of a sudden care for extra children.
That's sad.
All right, anything in litigation from the defense?
Now, we think she be given credit for the time she was in jail.
Yeah.
For her sons, and credit for home detention. I don't have the exact figure, but I'd like to present that to you in my strong motion.
All right. Ms. Jackson, anything you want to say, or does anybody
No,
want to
just
speak on your behalf?
Come on.
Your Honor, she wishes not to see.
All right. Any prior record?
You said
All
quite
right,
enough.
I'll hear from victims. It's done.
And Your Honor, did you need me to address the issue of home detention or not?
No.
Your Honor, this is from Zachary Rice, who is the older son of
It's not.
Gregory Rice at the time. Once Gregory Rice was killed, Zachary Rice took custody of the 4 half siblings. And he did this fairly quickly since we did not have WebEx available to him. He says 5 lives completely shattered, showed no remorse, waited 5 years for this, just celebrated Father's Day without him again. I would like the maximum in sentencing, took my father's life, and I want her to pay eye for an eye and lose hers. And then, Your Honor, if I can have Ms. Savannah Rice come on. Your Honor, she's understandably emotional. She says, Your Honor, I believe that my opinion for how long she should be sentenced does not reflect what has already been done. This crime has torn apart my family, others' families, and friends beyond any measure. My siblings and I have all suffered greatly, not only from the loss of my father, but the loss of a mother too. the loss of our lives. We have been waiting so many years for just a bit of closure, and this is it. We will never have the chance to freely live our lives without the thoughts of what has been done following behind us. It has become a challenge to rebuild and grow from everything that happened. There are still days where I just cry and wish I could go back in time to maybe prevent what happened. I can't do that though, and I will forever have the thought that I can't change anything alongside me. This trial and getting up on the stand has been one of the most heartbreaking and painful things I've ever had to do. It has also been one of the most relieving and rewarding things. I finally got to say what has been sitting in my brain the last 4.5 years. It was a relief finally being able to tell the truth and to go towards a cause. I believe that 50 years to life would be a sufficient amount of time. I thank you for your time for listening to what I had to say. Thank you. Does Your Honor wish the state to address sentencing?
Well, if there's anything you want to put on the record.
Your Honor, the state is asking for the maximum term of life imprisonment. We believe that there is clear evidence that this defendant not only plotted and planned this murder, but also tried to frame the victim for things that she was doing. As Savannah said, and as I said in explaining why Zach couldn't be here, this really did destroy a number of lives. Zach was forced to take in 4 children, his half-siblings, as a result of them being EBC'd after Meagan Jackson was arrested. We believe that there was nothing short of life imprisonment that would address this crime.
All right, Ms. Jackson, you have been found guilty of murder by a jury of your peers. The sentence of the court, I agree with the state. The sentence of the court is that you be committed to the Department of Corrections for the remainder of your life. You'll get credit for your time, sir. All right, thank you, Your Honor. Thank you.
Aww.
All right, anything further?
Aw,
from the state?
love.
Nothing from the state, Your Honor.
Aw.
Court is adjourned. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Your Honor.
You'll have to find a different way to dump someone's bones then. Right, yeah. So that was that life or life without parole? All right. So we will go to the Chris Dantel sentencing. Just like magic. Look at that. Oh, wacko. See what happens when Jodi's Jodi's brain starts working? Bad pause. Not sorry.
Your Honor, I passed up 2 more letters that I just received.
Okay, are these?
One is from Zach Rice, who was Greg Rice's son, and the other is from Kevin Rice, one of Greg Rice's brothers. And then Savannah Rice is present.
Yesterday.
I wish to address the court, but I'll call the case first with Your Honor's permission. Please. Your Honor, this is State of South Carolina, County of Horry versus Christopher Dantel. Your Honor, Mr. Dantel pleaded what I call straight up to the court as we were prepared to begin his trial to accessory after the fact under True Bill 2024 GS 2603534 and criminal conspiracy to commit murder 2021 GS 2601198. My use of the term straight up means that he did so with absolutely no discussions and no agreements with the state. As I said, the state was poised to proceed with trial when the defendant stood up and expressed his desire to plead guilty. He did testify in the trial of his co-defendant, Meagan Jackson, last month.
All right. Let's go ahead and.
I'm sorry, Ms. Jackson.
Please.
Please raise your right hand. Do you solemnly swear or affirm to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes. Good morning, Ms. Jack. How are you?
Good morning, Your Honor. Doing well, thank you.
I'm doing well. Does the state wish to go first, or would the defense like to be heard first?
Your Honor, I think that obviously we would prefer to hear. We were just handed a copy of the 2 letters that you received as well, and I think they said Miss Savannah Rice would like to.
Yes.
And we're fine
Let's
with
go ahead and
that.
hear from the state from the victim's statement. Okay.
This is their daughter. Yeah, the one
Okay,
that's
so just state your
testified.
name.
First one.
Say the names of the court.
Savannah Rice.
Good morning, Ms. Rice.
Good morning.
How are you?
I'm doing all right. How are you?
I'm good. I'm good. I know you're nervous. I just want you to act like you're just talking to me, okay?
Thank you, Your Honor, for hearing my statement. I've had a lot of time to think about what happened, and that doesn't change any way that I feel about the sentencing of Chris Dantel. Chris may have had his family to worry about, but he also had my family to worry about the day he chose to continue being an accomplice. He hugged me as I cried and begged for my dad to come back. He told me it would be okay and that we would find my dad. He didn't tell me that we would find him dead. He could have told the cops what happened. He could have made the choice to do the right thing.
Yep.
I've ran dozens of scenarios through my mind. He could have went to the cops and ended this years ago, but he didn't. I will never forgive him for that because my siblings and I have lost our parents and our wives. We will never be able to live a normal life, and even more so as he made it worse. Chris deserves maximum sentence possible. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Rice. Ms. Rice, I do want to tell you, I understand how hard this has been on you and your family. Well, I can't fathom the pain that you've suffered as a result of this. I just want to commend you for your strength, being here, being there
Oh,
for
that's so
Ms. Jackson's
nice.
trial. I know that takes a lot of strength. And I just want to thank you.
What a lovely judge.
Does the state have anything else to present?
No, Your Honor.
All right, if you just bear with me just for a moment. Let me take a look at these two letters.
Oh, yay! Oh.
All right, thank you. Record will reflect that I have had a chance to read over two statements written by Mr. Gregory Rice and Mr. Kenneth Rice.
And Your Honor, I think you're probably used to be arguing vociferously at sentencing, but typically when one co-defendant testifies against another co-defendant, the state's position is that it's in Your Honor's discretion as to any sentencing.
I understand. Okay, Ms. Zimmercheck, I will say, Ms. Zimmercheck, you can go ahead, Stan. I was just going to tell you, thank you for emailing me the letters. I was able to take a look at each one of them in chambers and read through them, and I certainly appreciate that, being able to have the time to do that. But I'll go ahead and let you begin the presentation.
Thank you, Your Honor, and may it please the court. And in the interest of time, I rarely have I come across a sentencing where I've had so much outreach of people wanting to show their support, which is why I sent that packet to Your Honor and the state so that you would have time and that we wouldn't have to waste time reading through all the letters. What I think, Your Honor, was interesting about those letters, not just the sheer volume, but just the diversity from which they came. We're talking about church people, professionals within the community, and then just normal everyday people that you work with in servers. And so I wanted to point that out. I emailed these as well, Your Honor, but I would like to talk about them, the pictures that I sent as well. And Your Honor, the first picture was a picture of Chris and Meagan right as she was, I'm sorry, I've got Meagan on the brain, of Chris and Erica right while she was pregnant with their son. And Your Honor, what was telling about this picture and all of the time that I've spent with the Dantels and getting to know them and getting to know their family is that, Your Honor, you can see in his eyes in that first picture, it's very, his eyes are a little bit clear, a lot different. That was right before this involvement with Ms. Jackson occurred. Your Honor, all of the pictures that I have sent to you included what is really the essence of Chris, and that is being a father to his children. And the picture that after the birth of their children was another picture of Erica and Chris. And Your Honor, the difference between what you can see in Chris's eyes before he got involved with Meagan Jackson and after, I think is telling. Your Honor, clearly he has made some mistakes. And in the 42 years that he's been on this earth, I can assure you he has, this is the biggest of the mistakes. And Your Honor, he, just so I don't forget, 1,588 days are the total amount that he has been incarcerated.
1 second on that. Does the state have any objection to that number? Is that what y'all believe is the number?
Your Honor, I have not had a chance to calculate it. I typically believe that the Department of Corrections will verify anything.
Okay. Thank you. I'm sorry.
No, you're fine. And I told them ahead of time because there was a period that he was out and so we had to go back and calculate those days. Your Honor, he, as you obviously am aware, he was arrested in November 19th of 2020. And that's how long this case has been going on. When I read those letters and listening to Ms. Savannah Rice, the underlying theme, of course, besides the tragic loss of Mr. Gregory Rice, was the frustration of not knowing. And in fact, when Mr. Dantel did accept his responsibility for his part in this, we received a separate email from the family just thanking us for being able to close that door and move forward. And the frustration that I get from the family, and I completely understand in that length of time, goes back to Mr. Dantel being afraid, and rightfully so, of Meagan Jackson, but not only for himself, for his family as well. Your Honor, I think it goes without saying, obviously, he had no criminal record prior to this, had never been involved in any problems before. And as you, I know that your law clerk was thorough and did sit through his testimony to hear what exactly he did. And even when they tried to impeach him with a little bit of the change from the plea transcript, it was because, Your Honor, after the plea, he was able to sit down and finally, after being told his family would be given protection, he was finally be able to fill in those extra things that he needed to fill in to really bring this together. And Your Honor, obviously being familiar with the case and the trial, I won't belabor the point, and you certainly read it in the letters, but the impact that Meagan had on their lives, as in coming in, really connecting herself to the family and making it so intertwined with her life, Your Honor, is a reason that fear was legitimate. I can tell you that I am asking for probation. And I'll tell you why. One of the things that I do when I come to a sentencing is, especially in different counties, I try to look at other disparages, other sentences that have been laid down in situations such as this. Your Honor, most recently I came across the case of Steve Morgan, who had just done 33 months of pretrial as opposed to the 4 years, 4 months and 1 week that Mr. Dantel has been doing, but he was sentenced to a time served with no probation in a case that was a murder case. He was a co-defendant. The body was dumped in the field, testified against the co-defendant. It was state v. land in August of 22. That person received a time served with no probation. Your Honor, we're asking that the court consider a probationary sentence based on a lot of the arguments that we have been making this whole time, but also when you go back and you look at the trial, the substance of getting the conviction of the person that took the gun, took that 22 and shot it in the locations of Mr. Rice's body that she shot them, it was clear that Meagan Jackson had done this, Your Honor, and Mr. Dantel has been in so deep. Your Honor, he has always been employed. He came here from Missouri with his family. He's always, Maryland, and he's always had a job. He's always tried to make the right decisions. Like I said, coming into a situation like this, Your Honor, has really changed not only his perspective, but the choices that he was making. While in prison, or while in jail, excuse me, he was diagnosed with having a depressive disorder, Your Honor. But one of the things that was very frustrating in the multiple pretrial bond hearings and things that we had is that people kept saying that the state kept insinuating that he was suicidal. I've gone through all of Mr. Dantel's records. He has been diagnosed with a major depressive disorder, which I think is how another reason we ended up making he made these terrible decisions. But Your Honor, there was never a history of any suicidal ideations. Another frustrating fact that Mr. Dantel kept encountering when he was attempting to get out on bond, like his co-defendant was, even though he violated that when they were first out together, the fact that she continued to remain out was incredibly frustrating to him. And every time we would come to a bond hearing, Your Honor, there would be issues such as the state received notice that he was trying to put a hit out on somebody. Your Honor, the state thoroughly investigated all of that. None of that came to fruition. I firmly believe, Your Honor, that the state was being provided information by his co-defendant to specifically keep him in there. She took that opportunity to drive by Mr. Dantel's house with his wife and kids to continue that fear and those threats to him, and that's exactly how he took them. But Your Honor, he has spent all of that time trying to work on himself.
Wow.
Dantel.
All right, thank you. Happy to hear from you.
Thank you.
That's his wife.
My name is Erica Dantel. I'm Christopher Dantel's wife. On June 12th, 2025, Chris and I spent our 10th wedding anniversary testifying against his co-defendant, Meagan Jackson. For nearly 5 years, I've made the choice each and every day to stay married to Chris. Despite the murder charge, affair, selling, though it felt more like losing my dream home, severe depression and anxiety, financial hardship, and all while solo parenting and homeschooling our 2 kids in hopes of getting them the most normal life possible.
You have a choice, love.
I've stayed, and I would like you to understand why. The Chris that has been presented to you in this courtroom over the last few years is not the man I chose to marry and build a life with. While Chris and I have been married for 10 years, we've been together for nearly 15, just about half of my life. While Chris and I...
And how many of those was he cheating?
The totality of the horrible and unimaginable events that have gotten us here today only took a matter of months. Chris was not simply caught up in a workplace affair, but instead, Meagan Jackson infiltrated all areas of our lives and became the literal antichrist to our family. Within 8 short months, Meagan Jackson moved into our neighborhood and set her plan in motion with 2 goals in mind: end Chris and I's marriage and rid herself of Greg Rice, only one of which she succeeded at. From day one of knowing Meagan, she had perfectly curated a narrative to gain compassion from both Chris and myself. At the time, it was our understanding that Greg Rice was an abusive, drug-addicted pervert, and Meagan sold that story to us every chance she got. Chris nor I had never met Greg, and from her stories, we thought we never wanted to. I believe everything she told us was a tactical move to allow her plan to move forward without a hitch.
And you fell
Meagan
for it.
sold both
Dickhead.
Meagan sold both Chris and I on the idea that we were all friends, and she was willing to and ready to solve all of our problems. She used the economic crash caused by COVID to shower us with expensive gifts, food, and promises of my dream come true, a summer camp for kids here in the county. Life was going to be perfect, and she was going to be to thank for it, until it wasn't.
Hello,
Through her
Mr. Steve.
manipulation
Welcome.
and a full stock of pricey alcohol,
Yeah,
Meagan used the
absolutely.
challenges in our marriage that I had confided in her to present Chris with an escape from reality.
How much do you need?
I'm not making excuses for Chris's behavior, but I feel the backstory is important to understand how we got here. Chris made choices that he's expressed to me that he deeply regrets and has been paying for ever since.
He does.
I will not overlook his role in the damage his decisions have caused. But it's with every fiber of my being that I say, if COVID shutdowns had never happened, Chris would not be involved in this case at all. I do, however, believe Meagan still would have found a way to do what she did to Greg.
Yeah.
In January 2011, Chris and I had reconnected when we lived in Maryland, and we clicked instantly. He was hardworking, shared my love of baseball, and had the same overall goals and aspirations for life as I did, including our future plans of moving to Myrtle Beach. We often spent our time on the ball field playing trivia or sitting at the swing at the North Myrtle Beach Airport watching banner planes take off and land. Until November 2021,
yeah. Hello,
Chris and I had
Jenny.
never been apart for more than a week and a half when we had to go away for training in 2015.
Hey, look, everyone, look, it's Jenny. How's your daughter, love? How is she? She getting on all right?
We spent just about every single day for 10 years together.
Yeah,
I know who Chris is. Chris is kind, helpful, caring, passionate, and enjoys pizza and karaoke. And though his songs may be questionable, then it's not always family friendly.
Sorry.
But above all, Chris loves our kids more than life itself, and would give anything to be reunited with them. Over the past years,
Golf clap.
over the years, I've been on many death calls with Chris, one of which was one of our first dates. Chris has always had such a gift for making people's worst moments a little easier.
That's when
We
you
often
heal.
got letters or ran into family members from death calls that he worked, and every single one would go on about how compassionate and caring he was and about the difference he made in their lives at that time. Based on what I witnessed firsthand for 10 years, it's my belief that Chris felt he had no
He likes frying corn fritters on the barbecue, roasting some corn and shit. But really, he just likes roasting marshmallows too. He's a real softy. Plays baseball and shit.
choice but to be involved how he was in this case. Meagan threatened him, and she was dangerous enough that Chris's previous attorney advised him to continue communication with Meagan out
But in the end, the little head ruled.
of fear of what she might do if she found out he was turning on her. This was confirmed by the said attorney over dinner with me, and we later sought new counsel. I find myself wishing every day that this was one big nightmare, but unfortunately it's reality. Chris is not the only one that has been punished for over the last 4 years. We have lost family members that never got a last hug or a goodbye from Chris. We've welcomed new family members by marriage and birth into the family that have never met him, and I underwent the entire process of selling our old one and buying a new one because I no longer felt safe with the co-defendant living street away. But most importantly, our kids have suffered. Very quickly, they lost close friends they had in Meagan's kids, their dad, their home, their neighborhood friends, and the normalcy we had prior to October of 2020. Chris is an amazing father despite the poor choices he made over the few months when he was under the control of Meagan. Our children were 5 and 2 when Chris's bond was revoked. Chris missed potty training our son, the loss of first teeth for both of our kids, daddy and daughter dances, and simply just everyday moments that others take for granted.
You're rubbing
My heart
his nose
breaks for the Rice heart breaks for the Rice kids who have missed out and will continue to miss those things with their own dad. I would give anything to go back in time knowing what I know now, but unfortunately that can't happen. We were all under Meagan's spell of her false narrative and promises. I will continue to pray for the Rice kids every day and love them and hope they're forever surrounded by the love that they always deserve but did not receive from their own mom. During his incarceration, Chris has attended
another
church
page.
services, Christian counseling sessions, which we will continue together when we are able to. And he's helped to keep things as normal as possible for our kids by playing games like rock, paper, scissors and practicing their math
Oh
tests and
my
spelling
God,
words, and
really?
even attending
Ah.
sporting events through the video visits. I respectfully ask you to please consider Chris as a man he is as a whole and not just the actions, but indeed a small period of time when he felt there was no way out. We
Sorry.
have lost so much already,
No,
and it is
sorry.
urgent that you consider the time Chris and our entire family have already served and allow him to come home.
Oh, that's better.
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you, Your Honor, and I believe the defendant would like to address the law personally.
Oh. Yeah.
And he wrote it, Your Honor, just because he wanted to keep his thoughts straight.
Yeah.
I thought about the Rice family, hurt for them. I wished I could speak with them every day for going on 5 years. I'm so sorry that they had to learn the details of Greg's death in such a public way at Meagan's trial, and that I was the bearer of some of those details.
Yeah.
Greg Rice's and Meagan Jackson's 4 kids have become an extension of my family. And knowing how badly, I'm sorry,
Should have driven off, dickhead. Should have said
knowing how
no.
badly they were hurt,
Not dump
and
on
not
the
playing a
body.
role in causing any pain at all to them, is something I'm going to struggle with for the rest of my life.
No, I'm not going to hide it at the funeral home.
To simply keep saying I'm sorry just doesn't feel right.
No.
And I don't know that I can effectively articulate the depth of the combination of love, pain, regret, and compassion I feel for those kids
Yeah.
and for everyone who loved Greg. I'm sorry for having any involvement with Meagan.
Yeah.
Virtually everything about
Well,
her
guess what, mate? You let your little head think. Now you're going to get real up close and personal with lots of other little heads.
is the exact opposite of everything I've ever been and stood for. As embarrassing as it is to admit, I chose to overlook everything bad about her because she was spending thousands of dollars a month on my family, and because she had convinced me that she was basically going to make all mine and my family's dreams come true. In retrospect, it's clear that my involvement with her was founded on deception and selfishness.
Yep.
This led to a snowball of poor decisions on my part, infidelity, and to Meagan having a grip on every aspect of my life. If not for these poor decisions on my part, I know that I would not have been with her the night of October 2nd, would not have been in the position to be an accessory after the fact, and would not have had any part in causing any suffering to anyone. I heard Meagan say things like, "I'm going to kill Greg," and "I'm going to kill my kids." More than once, she told me she was going to kill me. She said these kinds of things nonchalantly, and I never took them as a serious threat. I chose to overlook these things and all the other red flags that were waving in my face because of the attributes I thought were good about her, which I now see were only those which served me in some way. I realized that my involvement with Meagan, and thereby this case, has caused some variation of hardship to many, including my business partners, employees, colleagues, neighbors, my friends, my family, and especially the loved ones of Greg Rice. During the years I've spent in jail, I have, with the help of counselors, taken accountability and begun the process of repairing the damage. As for the Rice family, I just want them to know that if there's anything I can do to help them gain closure, I'll do whatever I can do for them, whether that's now or years from now. My heart will always be with them.
I think, Your Honor, just briefly in closing, I just wanted to address a few more things. One, the letters, and I know that they're not understanding of the law, but with the Rice letters that I just reviewed, and they said that he was permitted to plead to a lesser charge, Your Honor. Mr. Dantel certainly did plead to what he was guilty of. That's something that we had actually been offering to plead to for a while. The negotiations, we couldn't come to an agreement on the negotiations at the time, Your Honor, but we were negotiating with them prior to anybody going to trial. Your Honor, as we presented this case this morning for Mr. Dantel, who accepted the responsibility and the accountability of accessory after the fact, which he was clearly guilty of, and making poor choices. It's important to present those circumstances that led to his involvement and the meaningful steps that he's taken since then to right his wrongs. And that's what I think that we've been trying to do today, is to give you a snapshot of who Chris was, what he was, when he was finally able to get that sense of protection for his family and come clean. At the time of the offense, he was clearly deeply influenced and manipulated by Meagan Jackson, who he trusted, and she took advantage of his loyalty, his immaturity, his
Doodle.
use of alcohol to make poor choices. Your Honor, he did not
5.
he did not stand up when he should have for all of the children involved, and he knows that. And this weakness has made him live with this regrettable decision. Your Honor, every time I look at this case, I think of all of the things that could have been done if he were a criminal master, even if he wasn't a criminal mastermind, Your Honor, the things that could have been done that would have made this case, for example, using the crematorium, that would have made this case almost impossible to solve. But he was finally able, with risk to his family safety, his continued reputation, and he finally, in December of this past year, cooperated fully with law enforcement and the prosecution. His testimony was crucial in ensuring that justice was served, especially against Meagan, who was primarily responsible. And the cooperation came at a personal cost. He is continuing to accept the accountability and help correct the wrongs he once enabled. He has shown sincere remorse, in turning his life around. He's engaged in counseling, as you've heard. One of the things that, if you recall, a group of pretrial motions about a year and a half ago, I was demanding to have all of his jail calls, because oftentimes people say things when they don't think the jails are listening. Your Honor, myself and my entire staff spent, I think, 2 weeks listening to almost 4 years worth of jail phone calls. And I can tell you that 80% of those were him talking with his children and still being a father. And I know that is a luxury that he has that the Rices don't have. And he knows that too. And he's still living with that, and he's still combating with that.
10.
He knows that he can't make that right, can't change it, but he can try to make it right from here on out, in his desire to accept that accountability. Your Honor, we understand that this offense was serious.
12.
But I think it's important for the court to understand that he was not an architect of this crime. He was someone who made several misguided choices in a terrible situation. He's demonstrated growth, cooperation, a willingness to accept responsibility, and qualities that suggest rehabilitation that he's already started. Your Honor, we are certainly not
13.
We are not just the worst thing we've ever done in life, but we are asking the court to consider a serious sentence over his head that would be suspended to an intensive 5-year period of probation. In a way, if he violated that probation, then he would have to go back and do all of that time based on the new law if he were to receive that. So we ask the court to take all of the letters of support, all of what was presented into consideration when making the determination. Justice can be served along with mercy. Thank you.
18.
Your Honor, Ms. Zimmercheck
there's another one.
mentioned a case in her argument.
You're wasting your breath. Just saying.
Stephen Morgan, where the defendant was given time served. That actually happens to have been my case, and the two cases are diametrically opposed to each other. Mr. Morgan was not present during the murder, did not help dispose of the victim's body in that case, came forward immediately when questioned by police, and cooperated throughout the entire way. He also pleaded guilty only to accessory after the fact, and did not, as Dantel has done, plead guilty to criminal conspiracy to commit murder. So I just want to make sure that it's clear that that is not an appropriate comparison with the case in front of Your Honor.
Ms. Walter, let me ask you this. It got brought up in the defense's presentation about bond. Am I correct that he was given a bond at one point but violated it?
Yes, Your Honor. Both defendants were given bonds. They both violated it by having continued contact with each other. They were both violated, and then Ms. Jackson was released, violated again. It was sort of a revolving door. She was given an opportunity for home detention again, but continued to violate it. I believe there was one other bond hearing for Mr. Dantel, and that was denied. But he has been in since that first violation.
And I'm also correct that there were initially talked to law enforcement, and then there was a proffer?
Yes, Your Honor, there was a proffer, and Mr. Dantel violated the terms of that proffer, so that proffer never went forward.
Ms. Zimmercheck, anything else from the defense?
Nothing further. Well, just a very brief follow-up, Your Honor. Yes, he had 3 detention hearings after that. They were all denied. Just the end result was the same. And Your Honor, he did the proper and the testimony was all done prior to my involvement in the case. Your Honor, obviously when we were able to secure that protection for his family with the bond conditions and zones against his family and her and the children, Your Honor, he did sit down and I think fully cooperate with them and testified to those exact same details at the trial.
Well,
thank you.
So he was given a bond and let out and violated it with her, and has been stuck there since 2020. thought he was scared of her.
Okay. Mr. Dantel, your attorney has done a good presentation, and quite frankly, I believe has done a remarkable job to get you where you are today. She's correct that my law clerk did go in and view your testimony in Meagan Jackson's trial, but I also went back and viewed your testimony as well. Your testimony did differ in what you admitted to when you pled guilty to the charges you're here for today. My concern is simply this. I understand that you're remorseful. You're here today to take ownership over what you've done. However, by my math, it took about 1,500 days for that to happen.
Mm-hmm.
You said in your testimony in Miss Jackson's trial that you were scared of Miss Jackson. I don't know what you were scared of once she got incarcerated, but she absolutely couldn't hurt your family when she was incarcerated. And you still decided that you wanted to withhold the truth. And then you testified or proffered again with the state and again gave them different information. The truth of the matter in this, according to your own testimony, is that you were present when Mr. Gregory Rice was gunned down and that you helped dispose of that body. You, a person who disposes of bodies, as your job. And yet it took you 1,500 days before you gave this family some solace in knowing what happened to their dad. I saw in your testimony where you hoped that your testimony would give you a lesser sentence. And I'll tell you that based on your testimony, the fact that you pled to an accessory and a co-conspirator is your lesser sentence. You very easily could be right when Ms. Jackson is doing life in prison. I will give you the credit for the time that you have served. You're entitled to that by statute. But as to the accessory after the fact, the sentence of this court should be committed to the State Department of Corrections for a period of 15 years. And as for the conspiracy, it's a sentence of this court that you be sentenced to the maximum again of 5 years, and those are to run consecutive. Mr. Dantel, I understand that you're here and want to give the closure to the Rice family, and I hope that this does that.
16.
And I hope that ultimately, when you get out, that you will remember what you've done to your own family and what you've done to the Rice family. But that's the sentence of this court. Thank you.
Well, there you go. Wacko to the low. There you go. Yeah, they pretty much wasted their breath. Anywho, which one am I? There we go. Ooh, no, that's better. I was just listening to the sentencing. As I said, I've been going. I've done up a full part 3 of the Erin Patterson mushroom murder trial out here because she got found guilty of 3 counts of first-degree murder and 1 count of manslaughter. And she hasn't been sentenced yet. So I looked up the Victorian sentencing guidelines, and she looks like the estimated sentence that she will get is life in prison. Now, apparently, Victoria has abolished the life without parole sentence. So they basically just have a benchmark 30-year life sentence, pretty much. And depending on the severity of your case, you get anywhere up to that 30-year benchmark. But you don't get charged. You don't get a sentence for every charge or every crime. So even though she had the 3 first-degree murders and the 1 manslaughter, she still gets what they estimate to be probably between 33 and 37 years before she's eligible to be released. Yeah. Yep. And possibly earlier for good behaviour, because we're so tough over here. I will finish that off in the next couple of days and put it up as a video to finish off the trilogy. And I actually did a bit of research onto where they believe that she will be, what correctional facility she will be attending, and who she'll be attending it with. Apparently she'll be mixing it with some of Australia's most notorious Victorian killers, female killers. Yeah. So there's that. Oakley dokley. I have no idea, NFI, what's going on for the next few days. I will try and rustle something up for tomorrow. We'll organise something. Have a look for the thumbnail. Thank you again for joining me. And this was actually more interesting than I thought this time. I'm going to go and watch the what is it? The Fatima trial, the girl that got strangled, that one. Yeah, in bed, because it's 1:15. Yay. Alrighty, you have yourselves a good one. Don't be good at it. And I shall see you when I'm looking at you. Hasta la vista, bitches.
Hey there, thanks for stopping in. We hope you will join us again. We all look forward to next time. We get to talk about true crime. Clues. Justice served in an honest fight. True crime tales till the verdict's right. Solving more than just trivial quests, where sentences rule and the defense rests. Our true crime family is great. All types of topics we debate. Smash that like and ring that bell. Hit subscribe, you might as well.